When it's like I go out of my mind. It's like me, baby.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Sota stream, a NCAA Championship edition. Thanks, everyone, tuning in on the Sota Pod YouTube channel. Once the puck has dropped, we will get the live stats up on the screen here. Usually, we do Minnesota Wild watch-alongs or our live 2-hour podcast recording. Today, it's a special weekend, though, Hoppy, and kind of swayed me into doing an NCAA watch-along here. And it's your team in the quarterfinals, sir.
Yeah, this is going to be a mess.
Well, why is that? Why is that? You got to bring positivity and energy, Hoppy, because we did get feedback on our last walk along, and I shit you not, they said you're bringing the vibe down. You're bringing the vibe down, so you got to keep that energy up, man. This is your team,
dude. You've never watched Gopher hockey before. You don't know how hard that is.
You're right. I've only watched Bemidji this year.
You watched a game.
I watched 2 games, but well, thanks everyone joining the live YouTube stream. Again, this is YouTube. We can't broadcast ESPN or NCAA rights content, but we will get the live stats up for you as well. And put on the game, get us up on your screen or phone as well, and get in the live chat. Let's go. Let's talk about this game in real time. Get us your live comments, your questions. If you want to sulk like Hoppy, go ahead and do
sulking.
that too.
I'm just nervous. There's a difference.
Yeah, the last game was pretty close. I saw you tweeting about it there.
Oh, dude, you could not have pulled a pin out of my ass with a tractor that game. That was a stressful one.
Well, let's get into it quickly. A little quick wrap up of last game for anyone who's just joining. Right, people like me who don't necessarily follow the college hockey tournament too in depthly, but hey, I'll support my team and jump on a watch along with Hoppy here, as we do represent Minnesota. So in this, D1 championship, we are rooting for the Minnesota teams here on the Sota Pod.
Yeah. Wrap up. Are we talking Gophers or just everything in the tournament thus far?
Let's start Gophers and then, wherever you want to take it before a puck drop here.
Dude, Gophers got a pretty tough matchup to start the tournament as a 2 seed going up against UMass, who are the defending national champions. And true to form, didn't get off to a great start. They usually start games slow, and we'll just say most of the game we're trailing by 1 or 2 goals. Made a big comeback in the third period, down 3-1 to tie it up, go to overtime, and then who else but man, myth, Delano legend, Ben Myers, just fucking done. He needs to stay in Minnesota.
Yeah, everyone's really high on this kid.
It's because he's a phenomenal hockey player. Problem is, he's got a lot of options.
Yeah, it's so where do you think he lands? Because I've been starting to see the tweets circulate and people just throwing out names here and there.
I mean, it depends on how he thinks he projects, right? Like Jack McBain, the reason he's not here is because he thinks he projects as a third line center. Right. We have one locked up for 8 years, right? Like, yeah. I don't blame the kid for not wanting to stay. But a guy like Ben Myers, you're probably looking at middle 6 type potential. I don't know. So it depends on if he wants to come in and fight for a spot or if he sees somewhere out there that's deficient at center. It's really whoever paints the best picture for him of what his future is there. But anyone that's willing to sign him this year and shave 1 year off his contract will certainly boost that. I don't know, man. Looking across the league, there's definitely teams that are deficient at center. And weirdly, we are right now on the depth chart, but like you look at the guys coming in, you've got guys like Rossi, who's Nadinov, that are going to be filling in soon. It makes it less enticing probably for that kind of prospect. But hey, dude, if Billy Guerin came up to me and said, hey, I see you being our second line center of the future, I'd probably shut up and listen for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how bad Guerin wants him, because maybe Guerin doesn't go after him. Who knows? But I love him. Oh.
That's a good point. Hey, for anyone tuning in live, we appreciate it. We will post bits and pieces of this in podcast form for Monday. Again, it's the NCAA championship. We, Hoppy and I, we're not as invested in Minnesota Wild this weekend. Although, Flurry, we will sprinkle in some Wild talk at the intermission throughout this stream as well. And obviously, if anyone, wants to get in the live chat, whether we're watching this game or not, and again, we'll get the live stats up momentarily once the game starts here. But yeah, if you want any hockey topics for us to get into, if you have any comments, if you have any questions or anything, get the live chat going. I see Shane's here. Saying, hey, I just got back from using the dumbbells. Hurt my wrist a bit from doing curls. That sucks, Shane.
I don't even have a comment on that.
How much weight were you doing, Shane? Look, I got some beers for Shane. He'll have to come swing by soon. But let's get into what we're drinking here, Hoppy, before puck drop. For those who are new to the Soda Pod, we appreciate you joining the live stream. We do a lot of different content here. We do beer tours, we post bits and pieces of podcasts, but we also have a podcast. We're a podcast first and foremost. So if you're a fan of hockey talk, and if you're a fan of the Minnesota Wild and just Minnesota hockey talk in general, at the college level, hell, even some high school hockey talk in there, check out the Soda Pod. Episodes 5 days a week, again, covering prospects, NCAA, MNCAA, and everything hockey-wise in Minnesota. This is what we do for fun every Sunday. We jump on a stream, whether we do a watch-along for the Minnesota Wild or just jump on 2 hours and do kind of like a 2-hour radio show. Today, it's something special. Today, we're sitting back, relaxing, watching. I'm relaxing. Hoppy's definitely not relaxing. Gopher fans aren't relaxing. We're sitting back, enjoying ourselves, drinking a couple cold ones here on the Soda Pod, watching this game. Really appreciate everyone joining us as well. Derek, of course, is in the chat saying shots pretty hard to come by so far. Gophers look calm. Very much a chess match so far, as both clubs are doing all they can to limit chances.
Which is good, because that's the type of game that Western plays. And if we kind of start out slow, play their game, and then kind of figure out our spots to take chances, I'm good with that, because I don't know. This is a weird team to match up with, the Gophers. Like, I know they just had a tough out with them in the Big Ten championship, but I'd rather be playing a Michigan who plays a similar style, because you at least are equipped to go against it. This is just a weird, I don't know, a team that's built differently in Western Michigan. A team that kind of flew under the radar until this year too.
I was just going to say, tell me about Western Michigan, because a program that I'm unfamiliar with, again, being up in Canada here, I don't follow, other than the big names, I don't follow too much, right? But tell me about this team, again, for anyone like Shane and myself, we're just tuning into college hockey, not for the first time, but for the first time a little bit more in depth this season.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm certainly not someone that's as plugged in with them as someone like our boy James Murray of Everything College Hockey, but this is a program that's kind of historically and stereotypically been more of the grinding, bruising, almost more Bemidji-like team. And now they've got a couple guys that are popping offensively. They have enough skill players that they kind of have that rounded, balanced roster, whereas the Gophers, again, this is pretty much always the case, they're 4 lines deep in talent, right? It's all skill, and don't get me wrong, there's definitely some sandpaper in there, but not to the level of a Western Michigan. So it's just a really clashing styles, and it's kind of that chess match, that waiting game, like Derek said, where we're going to kind of figure out which of those styles is going to prevail.
Yeah, and I'll get the live stats up here momentarily. Folks are trying to find the best looking one. I got a few options here. The ESPN one's got a bunch of pop-ups. It is what it is, but we will get it up here as puck has dropped. Finally, my put it this way, I'm watching TSN, so I'm not behind in the stream at all, or I won't be. Throughout this thing, it just Canada. We have a curling championship going on right now. So TSN obviously was broadcasting the curling on this feed for the first, 5 or 6 minutes. So fair enough, TSN. Fair enough. I'm caught up. But yeah, keep the comments coming as we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and per Waggle, I put up 4 different beers, and I got 0 conclusion from people. I got 1 or 2 picks from each of the 4 beers that I was maybe going to drink, and then a bunch of people saying you're going to drink all 4 because it's the Gophers. Fair. But per Waggle's request, and a fair request, we are starting with the Hazy Project New England Style IPA from Blacklist.
Ooh.
Honor the fallen, UMD, deserved a better fate. What a shitty way to end a game. So for those that aren't familiar or haven't been paying attention so far, Duluth, I was pretty high on them to advance from their bracket. They yesterday fell to Denver in a really close matchup on a goal at the end of the game. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
And shot bounces off of the glass behind the net, comes back out, goalie kicks it in himself.
Jeez.
And this is Ryan Fanti, who, zero disrespect to Dryden McKay, because
No, of course.
dude deserves the Richter, but the last couple months of the season, Fanti has looked every bit the best goalie in college hockey. He has been incredible. He's basically, I don't know how we haven't gotten a new version of the Staylock Superfans, the Fanti Superfans from someone like Veach. That's a little disappointing. Also, the beer's delicious, by the way.
Very nice, very nice. Look, we have a Western Michigan fan in the chat. There you go. What's up, Clark?
I don't know if Clark's a Western Michigan fan as much as probably just an anti-Minnesota fan. Clark, I'm curious. Which one?
Clapbum saying, what's up, Clapbum? You supporting the Gophers?
Hey, I've been saying it this whole time, too. I'm cheering for all the Minnesota teams to make it as far as they can. It was awesome that we did have the first Minnesota team advance to the Frozen Four yesterday as well. We do have Mankato.
Surprise.
I don't know, man. This might anger some people, but this might be really their year to win it, and that might not happen again for a while. Like, they really had Nathan Smith pop off in the best way possible. It's your last year of Dryden McKay, and also the most stereotypical win for them yesterday. They win 1-0. Nathan Smith, the only goal scorer, and of course the shutout for Dryden McKay. So like that is Minnesota State's game.
Yeah. Man, Dryden McKay, though, like, unbelievable season. Unbelievable things I hear about this guy.
I'm curious to see what happens with him after this, though, because just being his size, like, it's going to be a battle for him to get onto pro rosters. Someone's going to take him for sure. He will sign a contract. It's just going to be interesting to see like what his trajectory is from here and how much development it's going to take to adapt to the program.
Absolutely. Well, 11:20 in this game, in this first period left thus far. Loving the pace. Now, I mean, Derek said it was a little bit of a slow start, but now the Minnesota Golden Gophers are starting to, I think set the pace right now, Hoppy. They're looking pretty good, moving the puck well, applying pressure in the offensive zone. So yeah, I'm digging this game thus far as I'm back and forth looking for a good scoreboard. I'm just gonna have to throw the ESPN one up soon, so I apologize.
Well, just the advice for you, like ISO cam, 89 and 39.
Okay, I got Hockey DB up too with everyone's numbers, so I could attempt to throw some names out there. But I mean, I will leave it. You're the expert, so I will leave it to you. I did do play-by-play once upon a time, so I did have to. I mean, grandparents were texting me.
Doesn't mean that you can pronounce these names.
No, I was going to say grandparents were texting me saying that is not how you pronounce my grandson's name, but that's okay. Clapbomb likes your jersey there, Hoppy.
Oh, love it. Thank you, Clapbomb. Yes, I'm still working on. I want to find I don't want to get a current Gopher jersey and put Kessel on the back. I need to find like a vintage jersey that I can put Kessel on.
There you go.
Because I need that. I need it. Unless I don't know, Isha, how much would it trigger you if I got a Schrader one? Here we go.
Fucking right. And it wouldn't trigger me at all.
Matty Nyes, the Arizona product, the best Arizona player within the Toronto Maple Leafs organization. That's right. Let's fucking go. I don't know how you can leave Matty alone right in front of the net like that. That's just bad defense. Western Michigan wants that one back for sure.
Wow.
Holy crap. Oh, yeah, I'm really sad that he's probably not going to be back next year. Oh,
beautiful.
What I would give for Matty Nyes to be back for one more year with the Gophers. But he'll probably go the way of Phil Kessel. One and done.
Don't say that. Don't say that, Hoppy.
I'm just accepting it. I acknowledge it. I don't blame him. Hey, if he
Absolutely
stays,
beautiful.
I'll be thrilled. Tell you what, if he stays, I'll buy a jersey. No question.
There you go. Yeah.
I just don't think that's happening. So, no, the one that I might have to get. Oh, if Gophers pull off something magical here this year, Ben Myers might be the jersey, dude. He's been the heart and soul of this team all fucking year.
Well, I was gonna say you've been swooning about him all season.
Oh, it's weird, man. Because I always thought he was a solid player, but this year he's just popped off in a different way. I don't think anyone expected him to be like the coveted college free agent the way he is. And he's absolutely been the guy for the Gophers. It's been real interesting to watch.
Love it.
And he comes from single A hockey, so that's always fun.
Matty motherfucking Nyes left wide open. He finishes that every single time. Derek saying next few minutes will be big for both teams, except Western Michigan to expect Western Michigan to push hard to try to respond. I think the Gophers have better skill on the blue line and an X factor in controlling the O zone. Hoppy, agree with that?
Yeah, Gophers, especially in recent years, have really been deep on the blue line. Not just talent, but guys who can play both ways. Brock Faber, the guy that is always going to be talked about, he's kind of got the whole Charlie McAvoy babyface thing going, but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's in the LA Kings system. So
okay.
yet another prospect for them. Jesus.
Jeez.
But yeah, the fact that Nyes is going to Toronto just makes me so sad.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't have the attachment to the Minnesota Golden Gophers as you, and obviously the fans watching the stream right now and listening back, but that would make me sick as well. I mean, it makes me sick, and I don't even really know the player that much, right?
Well, watch him right now because you're going to see what's to come for Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good, and 1-0 for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. I'm just so pumped TSN finally is broadcasting all the games, because usually the Frozen Four, maybe, the finals probably every time on like TSN, whatever, 12 after curling.
TSN is like an ESPN product, right?
It is, but they, again, curling first before college hockey, apparently, and anything basketball. Do you know if the giveaway prize was shipped yet? It was shipped. And Teespring slow, my man. If we had our own sweatshop going on here doing it ourselves, it would be out to you in like a week. But because we're doing it through third party, it's on their schedule, my man. But we really appreciate the support as always. I want to get a Landeskog Kitchener Rangers jersey. That's a throwback, and that's awesome. Actually, the first junior actually, I shouldn't say the first junior. The first OHL game I ever went to was in London, Ontario, and the Kitchener Rangers were visiting. So I always just remember that jersey. I was always like, oh, this looks like the New York Rangers. But no, that would be sick.
They're showing the Myers overtime winner right now. Oh, it just gives me all the feels.
Beautiful. Derek saying, with all due respect, movers, distributors. All right.
Who's Addard? Maybe it's one of the guys commenting right now. I'm not listening to the game at all.
Yeah, I don't have my volume up either. All I can hear is Hoppy's voice. That's
unfortunate.
I don't know. We got a lot of fans here on the Sota.
It's a little raspy.
Yeah. Oh man.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking. I guess I didn't even get into it. A Longwood Brewing Stoutnik. I wanted something. I wanted something rich. Today. I do have a couple IPAs and
there's plenty of Edina kids that are playing for the Gophers right now.
Oh yeah, Stoutnik Russian Imperial Stout, 7.5%. Good old Longwood Brewing.
Oh, so you're supporting Putin? Nice.
It wasn't brewed in Russia, Hoppy.
It's a Russian Imperial Stout called Stoutnik.
Yeah, well.
Sounds pretty pro-Russia.
What are you going to do? All right, well, still a 1-0 game here. So far, I mean, I'm not stressed rooting for the Minnesota Golden Gophers in this game. They look like they're so far the better team. Hoppy with no comment.
Sorry, it was in the middle of a big play. Leave me alone. Yeah, I mean, so far looking better, but not at all dominating this game, which I don't expect either team to dominate.
Yeah, I mean, this season, you didn't even expect them to finish off with the highs that they finished off on going on that late run, did you? Because I remember going into this season, you said they were a good team, but not necessarily great. And then when the Panthers swooped in and grabbed their goaltender. I mean, that was supposed to be the end, but actually that's
the
what propelled
Carolina
them.
Hurricanes.
Sorry, Carolina Hurricanes.
No,
And that
that's a great
propelled them.
point, man. That really did propel them in the weirdest way. I don't know if it's a fuck you, we'll show you kind of thing, or if it's just happens chance. But yeah, I mean, early in the year, I would have pegged them somewhere around like maybe 8 in the country, 8 to 10. And the last stretch of the season, I mean, going undefeated for 8 straight, they were absolutely a top 5 team when it was all said and done. Unfortunate finish in the Big Ten tournament against Michigan. Otherwise, they're for sure taking down a 1 seed. But hey, we're here. We're up 1-0. All that matters is winning this one and advancing. And oh man, I better check the brackets. I think they might actually play Mankato if they win.
I mean, the back and forth with Alex is going to get a little heated.
No, it won't.
Sorry, Marissa.
Yeah, with Marissa. Alex will be nice about it.
I don't know, he's getting pretty cheeky on Twitter. Could have been the booze from his 31th birthday talking, but
Did you say 31th?
31st. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's an Ishism.
Yeah, you're gonna post that on Twitter? 31th?
Yes,
Holy...
of course.
That's how invested I was in the game. I wasn't even thinking about the words. I'm like locked in right now in college hockey. I wish the stands were more filled though. I mean, come on. This is a quarterfinal game. Are you not surprised? Like, when does college hockey get the butts and seats? Semifinals and finals only, or what?
Yeah, because that's the Frozen Four. That's the one that'll be in Boston. That's what everyone's excited for because it's the semifinals and the championship. The way that they do the regionals is just fucking stupid. And anyone that tells you differently is also fucking stupid.
Okay, well, explain to the Shanes of the world.
I mean, I can't explain, but they pick regional locations every year. That I don't know if the idea is to grow the game or what it is, but it's got nothing to do with the teams that are in the tournament. They have literally, I think there was only 4 or 5 East Coast teams even in the tournament, and they had 3 East Coast regionals and 1 in Colorado.
Oh wow!
And everyone thinks that it should be home rink for the 1 seed. You'll get fans. It's going to be a better atmosphere. Like, it just sucks that when you're on the biggest stage for your sport or for your league within the sport, you have no fucking fans. That's just a disgrace. And NCAA needs to fix it.
No, fair enough. That does seem a little whack for sure.
It's, yeah.
We got a commenter. Try NHL 66, buddy, to Ryan here. If it's not there, I don't have one personally for you. Derek saying Gophers doing a terrific job of dictating the pace of play in this game. That's what I've noticed too, Derek. And again, I don't know a lot of the players here, much like you and Hoppy. I'm unfamiliar with everyone thus far, but for the most part, it looks like they've been setting the pace of this game for sure. Ryan Perkins have tried 6-6 and hockey. Thanks, plus. Well, I hope you find some luck, my man. I'm in Canada, so I'm freaking using TSN right now. I do subscribe to TSN, which is nice, and it's completely different than like what you guys have down there in ESPN, ESPN Plus. Anyways, it's night and day. It's just basically like whatever channels are playing whatever game. TSN.com might have a stream for them, and you can pay $5 a month to maybe watch what you want.
Man.
The only thing that is crappy right now, if you're a Gophers fan, is Bucci on the play-by-play. Grandpa Melrose has been quiet, which is good. Yeah, I know Hoppy's not a fan of Melrose. Oh, Ryan. Well, then if you're in Canada, then it's on TSN. If you have cable, or if you just honestly, it's $5 a month. Just make a freaking account quick to watch the rest of the tournament. It is playing on whatever TSN. I think it's 2 right now.
Also, don't get me wrong, like, Bucci can be hard to handle sometimes, but if you make me pick between him and Melrose, I'm taking Bucci across 11 times out of 10. Barry Melrose is the dumbest fucking hockey mind out there.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Dude, if you almost ruined Steven Stamkos's career, you're probably not very smart with hockey.
Yeah, well, I feel like he's a gimmick at this point for like casual American hockey fans. Ryan's asking exactly what to. Give me a sec, Ryan. It actually doesn't say, because I'm just on TSN CA Ryan, and it doesn't say which TSN one it's on. Unfortunately, I thought it was TSN2, but I think that's actually
Do you not know what you're watching?
that's Portland. That's soccer. No, it's just a stream. There's like again how it's set up on TSN. It's just like there's just a ton of just options to click. That's just like up now, up next, up in 2 hours sort of thing. And it's just like bars and bars of names. It's not the greatest setup, which is why, again, I didn't know why I was blacked out the first 10 minutes of this game, but it was because, as I found out, the curling championship was on.
Curling championship.
Derek's saying fun. We are having fun, Derek, and we appreciate you joining.
He's replying to
look
someone in
at
the
that.
comments, you dickhead.
I'm at the game right now.
To that, Derek says fun.
No, well, Derek was saying fun. He's having fun with us. That's the way I'm reading it.
Okay.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you're having a good time because we were just talking about just how it's all set up divisionally and whatnot. And no, I'm glad you're there having a good time and supporting I hope the Gophers right now because we are supporting the Gophers. This is a Minnesota based podcast, Minnesota craft beer and hockey podcast. So obviously we're rooting for the Minnesota teams.
Yeah, man, it's been something because, like you said, I didn't come into the season with the biggest hopes. I for sure thought that Gophers were like at best the third best team in the state. And at this point, I'm convinced that they're neck and neck with Mankato. And that matchup would be fucking fire.
Dude, that would be unbelievable. Look at that. Ryan found it. He's saying, thanks. I'm tuned in. Ryan, we appreciate it. Hey, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and check out our podcast, man. Again, the Sota Pod on all podcast apps. There's something for you. There's something for you. You got Hoppy and I Monday, Wednesday. You got Prospect Talk Tuesday. You got Craft Beer and other Minnesota Wild Talk Thursday. And then you have College Hockey Talk every Friday, all on one podcast feed. And we really appreciate it, my man. Derek Singh was actually commenting on the first. No, you were commenting on us, Derek. Come on, don't lie. I just checked. I don't have the game, and I have Sportsnet and TSN cable package. Shane, if you have TSN cable, actually, yeah, I might not be on cable.
Rich.
Like Hobby said. I don't know, folks. I don't have cable in my office here. We do everything through the internet. So I'm sorry if I'm letting you down and trying to tell you where to find this game in Canada, but I am glad that there's Canadians either watching like Ryan or trying to watch like Shane, still trying to get some live stats up here. They just don't look good. And I'm sorry, it's NCAA. And I know the Basketball Podcast Network, when they were doing some watch alongs on their YouTube channel, ran into the same thing as Flash Score doesn't like to support NCAA. That's usually what we put up for hockey games. And the ESPN one just likes to sell a lot of things throughout their live scoreboard. If I can't find one, we'll just continue to do it live like this. Maybe get a ticker.
You said
going
you
on
had
the bottom.
several options. What happened to that?
They just all kind of suck, to be honest. And
He doesn't have one, folks.
no, I do. I could show you, but it won't look good. It won't look good. Oh, look at that. Ryan's helping out Shane, telling him to log in through TSN as you can access through your cable provider. There you go. There you go. Everyone helping each other out here on this Sota stream. Derek saying Gophers have eased up a bit. Dangerous thing to do at this stage of the game. Well, it is the end of the first period, but I get you never want to be scored on.
The last 2 minutes, man. The last 2 minutes of the period.
You never want to be scored on in the last like 2 moments of a period.
Yeah, it was funny. The Gophers actually scored one last game, like towards the end of a period, to bring it to a 1-goal deficit instead of 2. My brother's like, what are you doing? That's horrible coaching. Why would you not want to carry the worst lead in hockey into the intermission?
Oh, that's some like, yeah, I don't mess with that voodoo. I don't subscribe to that. I mean, I get it. And it's
it's very tongue in cheek.
No, I know, but it's almost like it's almost a stat now for how often it happens, right? It's just crazy. Oh man! Again, thanks everyone tuning in, and if you're just dropping by, again, we can't show the live game here, but if you're a TSN subscriber, if you have ESPN Plus, fire up the game. Turn the volume down a little bit on your TV and continue to join us here as we give our live reaction to this game. Continue to take your comments and your live reaction throughout this watch along. The Minnesota Golden Gophers lead the Broncos. 1-0 thus far in this game. First period coming to an end here shortly, but it's been a fun first period. Again, I missed the first 5 minutes due to curling. I didn't even see who won the curling. I was in a panic here. I'm pretty sure it was Canada against Sweden, so I'll have to check that out maybe in the intermission. But for most of this first period that I got to see anyways, Golden Gophers setting the pace, rewarded with that first goal, a beautiful goal.
Wait, national curling competition a month after the Olympics?
See, there's a bunch of curling tournaments throughout the year. It's like a season, kind of like how the ATP does like tennis. There's just a bunch of different tournaments, and then I think they seed for whatever it is. The Scotties are like the big one at the end.
That's the only one I've heard of.
Yeah, the Scotties, fucking legendary. I've said it once before, but I'll say it again. Their theme song is the same as the World Juniors, just with a different bass and drum line to make it. It's a little bit different. But if you put them up neck and neck, it's the exact same tone, tune, structure. I mean, both teams even in the face-off dock too, pretty much. I mean, Western Michigan leading.
I don't know what that
1.
life's like.
Yeah, right. Holy. Yeah, man, college hockey is just such a cool brand of hockey. And again, for me, it's a little bit different being so plugged into Canadian junior hockey, both of the junior A and the major junior level.
Be honest, are you more interested or the same level of interested since guys like Power started playing?
I wouldn't say more interested because like there have been always names that have gone the college hockey route that like we've kept tabs on. Like again, like when Brock Besser was with North Dakota, I watched North Dakota games.
That's not a Canadian playing college hockey. That's you just being interested because he's drafted.
Yeah, well, he's on my Canadian team, I guess. Right. So, but well, then I guess no, because like on a big national level, it doesn't really matter because we have a bunch of people who've gone down the college route before.
Yeah,
like
but historically, the number one overall pick.
No, that's true. That's true. But I'm just being honest, I didn't make waves in Canada that much. It was kind of like college hockey is just as good of a route as major junior now. With some of the bigger programs, anyways.
All right. Well, to intermission.
There you have it, though. There you have it, Minnesota up 1 going into the first intermission. That's what we want to see.
The most pressing news here for the Wild, Isha. Let me just share my screen.
We got some pressing news.
That is Kalen motherfucking Addison.
Are you kidding me?
Mohawk with stash.
Oh my God. That
shit beautiful than a motherfucking.
Holy crap. I mean, this guy, fan favorite.
And that'll go into my, well, first off, not fan favorite. He's my favorite. Other people will catch on someday. I hope one day he's a fan favorite.
What a beauty, man. Like the Wild have to make a Mohawk bobblehead now.
Well, no, what they have to do is put him on a defensive pairing with Jacob Middleton. Tell me how that doesn't, not only from
that makes sense.
Aesthetic of it, but they are the perfect mesh. When you take like Addison, just pure skill game, puck moving defenseman.
No, for sure.
All the offense. Then you got Middleton, who's literally twice his size, so that'll be funny. But like, it's early. We'll get into it more, but like so far, he has not at all disappointed. I'm very excited that he's going to be part of the team, hopefully for some time to come.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And look, we were critical of Billy Guerin's acquisitions, not like in a negative sense, but like, yeah, we kind of tore them. We tore it down and really analyzed them, and we didn't necessarily give him like an A+ grade, but we didn't give him a failing grade either. But right now, I mean,
I gave him a B. Like, I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was fun. There's fun.
Just concerns, but that's always going to be the case.
But I like what I'm seeing thus far, right? It could have gone, I mean, it obviously could have gone a worse direction than it has right now. So far, it seems like they're buzzing. There is some chemistry right off the bat with the Wild and the players that are on the ice. And Marc-Andre Fleury got his first win last night. So there you go.
They squeaked out a win against a non-playoff team who had just gone to overtime the previous night.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, don't get me wrong, everything has looked good and zero criticism so far. But if you're going to watch the 3 games that they've had since the deadline and say that they're a wagon because they've won those 3 games that they should absolutely win, I'm sorry, that's bullshit. Tell me, Vegas with none of their players. We've got Vancouver, who, don't get me wrong, they have scoring power and goaltending. Defense sucks and absolutely got physically dominated by the Wild, which I enjoyed seeing. I'd like to see it against a physical team now. And then the Columbus Blue Jackets, again, non-playoff team who was every bit in that game the whole way through, obviously leading for a lot of it. And you squeak out a win. It's good. Like, the only thing I think we know at this point is that Dean Evison has the biggest hard-on for pulling the goalie ever. Doesn't matter if it's Fleury, doesn't matter if it's Talbot, no goalie is safe.
He's given Roy like a run for his money here.
It's working though. Like, and as much as I hate that they have to come back in these games, I think that's the problem, right? Every game, it feels like the second period is the biggest low possible, but they're proving that they can come back in those clutch situations. And you know that this is a team that they've done it so many times. Like, if you're in a playoff game and you're down by 1 with 3 minutes left, no concern. Everyone's calm, cool, collected, ready to go out and do the thing.
No, I mean, great points there, but it's still nice to see the wins because they still could have given those points away. Like, I know, I mean, and Columbus, they've been a thorn in a lot of teams' side this year, depleted or not, which is interesting. Again, no excuse, but it is something. Like, unlike Montreal, who, let's be honest, you can stomp all over them and everybody has. Columbus has upset some teams. So yes, I agree with pretty much everything you said there. But like, I don't want to discredit Columbus either, as I agree,
but I don't agree.
Nice. But they played a hell of a game. Marc-Andre Fleury, though, talking about him, I don't think he did anything to really impress me. He wasn't tested for the first half of that game.
He didn't do anything to worry you either, though, right? Like, there was no way for him to impress you, right? Like, he just wasn't challenged.
He just wasn't tested. So he's kind of a mulligan right now in that, like, I haven't seen enough of Marc-Andre Fleury yet to even really comment. I have not seen enough of you in a Wild jersey to comment. I saw some Wild fans just going absolutely crazy on Twitter. This is the best team ever. We can't be stopped. Marc-Andre Fleury's the wall. I'm like, dude, he didn't even get a shot on him in 14 minutes at one point. Like,
yeah, I don't fully understand it. But again, I have no reason to criticize the team thus far. I just don't get it. Like, I don't get why everyone's like so locked in. Like, yes, this is the team now. Like, let's see what happens against Colorado today. Then talk to me.
Exactly.
And guess what? Guess what? If the Wild come out and fucking trounce the Avalanche, yeah, you got my attention.
Oh, and I hope they do.
And guess what? If fans come out and say, "Oh, well, we just had an overtime game last night," like, that's why. Guess what? That's what just happened to fucking Columbus. Shut the fuck up.
Throw it right back at them. Interesting player here, former college player, former University of Connecticut player, actually, and I know that because I believe he's going to be the captain this year. Carter Turnbull, out of the BCHL Powell River Kings, Nanaimo, British Columbia, BC product from the VIJHL. I believe he's going to be the captain next year for Connecticut, and he's had nothing but glowing things to say about Firstov. Like, first of all, this guy's a fucking beauty. And when he was drafted by the Wild that year, I remember I was in Rogers Arena, and I was blown away. I was so happy that the Wild were able to draft this guy because he's an absolute beauty, Hoppy. And I remember we didn't, at one point, right when actually you joined the Sota Pod, I was talking to his trainers actually on Twitter. It was during, like, the COVID, just the peak of the pandemic. So no one really knew what was going on, if there was going to be a season. He was training in Russia. Didn't end up bringing him on the podcast. There were just, I don't think the university at the end of the day wanted him to come on the podcast, but we did go back and forth DMs. He's like, I'm happy to tell you, like, the progress of this kid and whatever for your podcast. Nothing but glowing things to say, and that was almost 2 years ago now. So happy to see this kid, despite having no shots, and like Derek has said here in his first professional game. I think that he's someone that we should all keep an eye on, because based on the glowing reviews from his coaches, his trainers, and his peers, and like, I've known Carter since he was like, I don't know, 10 in elementary. My little sister went to elementary school with him. He went to same high school as all of us. Followed his career locally at junior B and the junior A level. I mean, the guy wouldn't lie to me. He said this kid's been unbelievable. So excited to see what Firstov does. Again, little local connection here, which I'm just beating. But hey. Shout out University of Connecticut.
I mean, hey, it's all upside, right? Like, there's
All upside.
like, worst case, he plays a couple years for the Iowa Wild and doesn't work, right?
Hey, look,
He's not going to be in Minnesota anytime soon.
no, and Hovanov hasn't been working in Iowa. Iowa's pumped now. Maybe they get another younger guy who they can insert and maybe build up, and the Wild can develop properly.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's just only fitting that the college player on the college watch along here is getting some love by Derek. So there you go. This is Iowa Wild Trail 1-0 late in the first period. Every game is a big game for them, considering they're 7th in the AHL Central standings. I mean, the AHL season, I don't follow it enough because I'm following so much sports. So actually, I shouldn't say that. I'm following UFC and NHL right now, and that's enough. Okay, I was up till 4
What
in
do
the
you
morning.
follow more closely?
Right now, probably
Man,
the UFC.
The hesitation. That's bad.
Probably the UFC.
That's gross.
Mostly just because I'm catching up on like the last 6 years that I took off. But anyways, last time I was up till 4 in the morning rewatching the prelims, not even the main event. I was like, I watched the main event. It's 2 a.m. and I was like, I gotta watch the prelims before I go back on Twitter and it's spoiled. Then I watched the prelims. Fucking Snoop Dogg keeps getting taking a tumble there. But again, I should watch more AHL hockey. Hopefully someday I will have the time to do so. When the Vancouver Canucks had Utica as their affiliate, for some reason I watched more than even when they're closer to home Abbotsford, just because that organization was unbelievable. Like it was just it's a shining star in the AHL. They always have some of the best fan attendance. They always have the best. I think that like franchise makes the most money. Utica's dominating right now, in the New Jersey franchise, being their affiliates. So they were the team I followed a lot, Hoppy, again, with the Vancouver connection there, being the incentive, but definitely taking a step back. I have to say, I did follow when Jerry Mayhew was ripping it up with Iowa. I did follow that version of the Iowa Wild.
See, I don't follow.
I even got his signed puck, Jerry Mayhew. Was the All-Star game in Ontario.
See, now that we have Z, I'm just really spoiled, and I just cheat, and I just text him instead.
There you go. Yeah, because he watches everything from.
That's the thing, and I just don't have the time. I wish I did. Like, nothing would make me happier than just watching hockey, but that's just not ever going to be my reality.
Derrickson, the reason I bring up the standings is this team needs to win if it wants to qualify for the playoffs, which is definitely something Minnesota wants for their young players to experience. No, absolutely. Well, we're rooting for them. We're rooting for them here on this Sota stream, covering the Golden Gophers and West Michigan Broncos. It's funny because as I'm still learning more and more about college hockey, Hoppy, I'm getting to know more of these college teams, mascots, and just like, the name of the actual, I was going to say franchise again, school, athletic program. What's the term?
Right. Whatever you want to call it. Yeah. The craziest thing is that pretty close to half of college hockey comes from 3 states: Minnesota, Michigan, Massachusetts.
Yep.
If you can figure out those 3 states, you're there.
There you go. Where do you think it's going to expand to next in the States? Like, where's
already said.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So it sounds like Lindenwood is getting a program here soon. And there's one other one that's been rumored to be next after them, but not totally plugged in on that.
Okay.
I don't know. And some people are complaining like, oh, you're just going to water down the product. Like, are you kidding me? Do you see how many dog shit football teams there are in college football? Like, no. More teams means hockey grows, means more opportunity. Like, no, just shut up.
I absolutely agree.
Or give me a reason that you think it's a problem if someone does.
Yeah, for sure. Because what's wrong with expanding the game and getting it? It's not even getting it out of those hubs. It's expanding it from those hubs. Like we said, I mean, the key word is expand the game, right? Get it into more markets where more kids can play hockey, where more men and women can play this sport at a higher level and compete. Because think about in most small towns, most places where it's not a hockey market, probably at some point, maybe not every decade, but let's say like a 25-year, they probably have an Austin Matthews talent, at least athlete in that market who never had the chance to throw on some skates, right? So the more hockey's available, the more those pure crazy athletes will be able to maybe apply their athletic abilities to this beautiful sport. And then we'll see more college hockey teams dominate. We'll see, more deep tournaments, and hell, maybe even more Canadians going to NCAA programs to play in different markets outside the Minnesotas and whatnot. So anyways, I'm all for that. I've always loved college hockey, despite it not being readily available, me being able to follow it as closely as I want.
Yeah, and there's both sides of the argument, right? There's obviously like bring hockey to the market and it'll grow. Like that is unfortunately, sorry, Wild fans, plug your ears, but like that's why North Stars going to Texas was huge.
Yeah.
Like Texas is actually don't get me wrong, it's nothing compared to the states I've already named, but they're booming as far as hockey's concerned. Like they've come a long way.
Yeah.
And
the Allen Americans, they are like a show. Like they're just as much of a Friday night, movie and popcorn date now in that area. From what I've heard, connecting and working with a lot of people in that market.
Yeah. The problem is then, Isha, because I agree, like bring it there so there's a chance for it to grow, but you're still going to have the Austin Matthews who never ends up playing hockey because it's just not accessible. It's expensive. Ice time's expensive. You got to find a rink, especially in those states. Like you're probably working with like 10 max ice arenas that you got to find a way to make one of them work, which only makes it more expensive to do.
No, I mean, it's an expensive sport regardless. So like, yeah, it's more opportunities. I get it. But yeah, I mean, look, the lower socioeconomic class is not playing hockey. Now, I wasn't athletically gifted as a kid, but like my parents couldn't afford hockey. They could afford some soccer cleats and some shin pads. So I went and played soccer, right? It was the easier sport to play.
Yeah.
It was easy to buy a stick from Canadian Tire and go play ball hockey. That's what we were able to do. It was easier to play in those leagues, cost way less. And so, that's what was available to me, as a kid and, growing up. Now, obviously we'll explore some hockey and stuff like that, but to develop, yeah, you said it there. It's just the nature, of the sport. And that's where at least, pro hockey teams or major junior teams, hell, maybe even college teams being inserted into these markets can help, provide opportunities for those who don't have the chance maybe to play or acquire gear to at least get on the ice. And I know Canada, obviously we do a great job of that with all of our initiatives up here, but maybe that's something that Texas starts to do as well, just to get more people and help more of the lower socioeconomic families and kids get a chance to play. Derek saying second period about to start. It is about to start. Just a couple quick comments from Derek. And again, Derek, really appreciate you sitting back, enjoying this watch along with us, my man. Illinois is supposedly in the works to add Division I hockey there. Rutgers?
Rutgers should want to get into, since New Jersey does produce quality players too. So, Derek, I've heard that it's been like 10 years that they've been working on a feasibility study for Illinois. I think they make all the sense in the world with how the Blackhawks have helped grow the game in Illinois in general and just the lack of competition. But Rutgers is a tough one just because it's really tough to sell tickets and actually like grow a program when you're literally within 30 minutes of 3 different NHL teams.
Yeah.
But I do think that they would make, like, if they can find a way to grab a different demographic there, I think that could work too. But Illinois for sure would be a great one.
Another school he's saying that he's heard bantered about is Utah as a club that might throw their hat into the ring for Division I hockey. I mean, Utah, great athletic programs there. So,
I mean, honestly, I think what needs to happen is growth in the Pac-12 in general. Big schools, big programs, markets that haven't really been hit. Could work.
Could work. Derek saying, I expect Western Michigan to come out shooting a lot to start the second. I mean, why wouldn't you? If you're down 1 starting the second period, there's still a lot of hockey to be played. You don't have to, be super defensively minded yet because it's only a 1-goal deficit, right? Once it gets to 2, you really got to start thinking about that as well as applying the offense. And, don't give Minnesota any more room to work here. But no, I think right now that Western Michigan, if they want to be successful, just have to keep playing their game, keep getting shots on net. I mean, both teams are doing well in the face-off dot. So wherever, they have the opportunity to get possession, especially in the offensive zone, I mean, everyone's going to have to work for it, and they're going to continue to battle for those face-offs because so far, though, in my opinion, Hoppy, the Gophers were setting the pace of this game and being the quicker team in the first period. Western Michigan hasn't been a slouch, and it's only a 1-0 game.
Yeah, and these first, I'd even say 5 minutes of this period are going to say a lot about what we can expect. But yeah, I'm nowhere near comfortable at this point.
Derek saying, I think Northwestern is another logical fit since you mentioned the Chicago area.
I agree. Yeah. I just don't know which team is better fit. Infrastructure, like you got to factor in Title IX. Like there's a lot of things that go into that. But yes,
Yeah.
I think either Northwestern or Illinois, not both.
There you go. There you go. Couple minutes into this second period. Now, quarterfinal championship game, Minnesota Golden Gophers and Western Michigan Broncos. It's just so funny, like for me, again, for someone who watches so much major junior, like, oh, a nice chance.
Very different hockey.
It's very different hockey, but it's 100% a hybrid of like the NHL and, you know, just like hard nose or you know, major junior, which is major junior is definitely in a brand in itself, whereas like junior A is closer to the college game.
And I mean, just the difference being like these are men.
Exactly.
These aren't little boys in the CHL, right? That's not like meant derogatorily, right? Like
no,
they are
they're
young kids.
Well, and there's not a massive difference from like, because when you're watching CHL, you'll see the 20-year-old men like these college players here, and then the 16-year-olds who are they're just freaking skinny. They may be lighting it up, getting 100 points, but they're just tiny people, right? They're so not developed yet. You know, they're 5 years away from even becoming a man, right? And getting into that you know, a professional athlete's body that you can really develop. So I think that's probably just one of the biggest things too, is these are all, you know, not fully grown, but grown players here. Big boys here on the ice versus the juniors.
Well, because most of them are going to play 1 or 2 years of junior hockey before they go to college.
You shout out USHL or BCHL.
Yeah. And there's a few exceptions, obviously, but
Just because there's a few AHLers you squeeze in there as well.
AHL?
AJHL.
Oh.
Unless you're Cale McCarr and you just own Brooks.
Yeah, if we're going to set him as the standard, we're all in trouble.
Oh man, I remember so many people or so many like executives in that league where they were happy that eyes were on the league, but like that team, man, was just so much better than everyone in the league that it wasn't even funny. Like it just wasn't even like good hockey to watch.
Oh.
Buzzing, dude. Some opportunities both ends of the ice here. Both these teams skating well in this second period.
I need another beer.
Holy crap. Yeah, Western Michigan is really pushing the pace here. Oh, sorry, I missed that there, Hoppy. Our friends at Lupulin with the Hui.
The Hui, and again, great beer. People will tell you, though, that it is their like favorite beer at Lupulin, and far from mine. Like, again, great, juicy, hazy, whatever IPA, but they have so many beers that I think are better. So
What are like one or two that if someone was saying that, you know, Hui's their favorite, that you would be like, actually, try
my
this
favorite
one.
IPA there is S&M, not even close. We've talked about that several times on here. And then I just think that they're in a whole different game when it comes to stouts. Like there's a few other breweries that like are in the same sphere. One of them being our boys at Back Channel, but like you're either good at stouts or you're not. And Lupulin is fucking crushing the stouts.
Love it.
I love them, and year round too. Because some people have been talking about having them lately. Like, yeah, hopefully only a couple more weeks of stout weather. I'm like, no, it's always stout weather for me.
You know what? And that I used to be the same. If I drank a stout at all, it was only around this time. But now, honestly, like there's probably some summer days where I'm like, give me a peanut butter stout, or give me a creme brulee vanilla stout. I'm for this. I'm for this. Derek saying game opening up a bit in the first 5 minutes. Far more shots being attempted by both teams. Yeah, it's been back and forth, man. And have you seen some of the saves from both of these goaltenders? I mean, that glove save from the Minnesota goaltender, Western Michigan, he had a great save on a rebound chance as well. So
you know what? Give the Minnesota goaltender some respect, Isha, because he's one of you.
He's Canadian?
He's north of the border.
Oh my God. Where's he from?
I believe it was Saskatchewan. Yep.
Nice.
Kindersley,
boy.
Kindersley, Saskatchewan.
Kindersley of all places? Get out of here.
Also,
amazing.
it's not Saskatchewan. It's Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
Hey, that's what Jeff Merrick said.
Okay.
If he said it, it's true. He said he got yelled at by someone from there, basically saying you're labeling yourself as an outsider if you do that. It's just like if you say mini in Minnesota. People are
Yeah,
like,
but
oh, you're not from here.
aren't people from Minnesota now saying mini? Isn't there like a Minnesota Twitter account that's literally mini as their profile picture?
Stop it.
See, I always thought it was mini as well before Hobby quickly was like, don't ever.
No,
say
it's just that's what outsiders say.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Makes
I've stopped
it easy for you
saying
to
it.
pick you out.
I've stopped saying it since, I say Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota.
It's funny. My friend's little brother made it on American Idol, and Katy Perry was just ripping him for his Canadian accent, dude. The whole time she's like, "You want to follow the American dream, eh? Then follow us, trust us Americans here, eh?" And like, look, Cameron,
That's
my
actually
buddy,
funny.
yeah, I mean, Jake's little brother, Cameron. Shout out to Cameron, by the way, making it to Hollywood on American Idol. Made a name for himself doing a backflip really walked on the stage. He's like, "Hey, guys, like, tell us a little bit about yourself." Just does a backflip. I like to do backflips.
What if you fell? Like, how would that go?
Dude, perfect form though. He did two. He got one before he sang and one after, which was hilarious. So yeah,
I'm
was
just saying,
funny.
like if he did fall, like, what's the reaction to that?
He's,
Like,
he's
my back.
put it this way: instead of putting them on episode 4, they put them on episode 1. That's what happens.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, anyway, shout out to Cameron Whitcomb. That was pretty funny. But yeah, Katy Perry just ripping on him, and like he kind of talks funny. Like he's got a very very distinct Canadian accent, very 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 noticeable. And I say it's like, there's some Minnesotans that I've met through doing this podcast here who like you can barely notice it. Like Hoppy, unless he becomes the state of sloppy or says like one or two words, I can hardly tell, right?
It comes out sometimes.
No, that's something.
But definitely more when there's drinking, but like you'll hear it sometimes sober too.
There's a few words, and I'm sure it's the same with me being Canadian and just my Isha-isms in general. But there's some friends
that's not Canadian. That's something special.
There's some friends that I've made here, man, that just like they have the thickest, most beautiful Minnesota accent ever, and it's one of those things. Like my buddy Jake's little brother Cameron, he's just like as a Canadian as he can be.
Dude, I don't know. I think the best is listening to Judd's Buds and hearing just the occasional slips from Z where it's
my
like,
God,
oh
yeah.
shit, you are a masshole. Jesus.
Dude, I know.
Like
great
he
point.
said 4 on one, he's like 4.
Dude, there's some
like,
where I'm just like, oh, I forgot you were from Boston.
Because he doesn't sound like he's Bostonian at all. But
Not at all.
if he's had a couple of his beers with straws and he's feeling it, the Boston comes out and oh man, it's a harsh reminder.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Shane, that you said you had a Parallel 49 beer yesterday, and it was called the Space Kitty. I've had the Space Kitty on the Soda Pod before last summer, and I actually have one in the fridge right now. It was the next beer on tap for this game. So there you go. It's a fruity IPA, I believe, is how it's labeled.
That's interesting.
They changed the can. It was a sticker, but now it's matte. It's like a matte finish.
You sure? Are you ready to just like die the happiest death at Lupulin?
Yes. I'm very excited. I'm not bringing the new camera, by the way. I bought a new camera. If anyone cares watching the stream.
You're bringing the old camera, though.
I am bringing the Sony ZV-1 and the gimbal.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Picked up a new camera yesterday.
Yeah, hey, throw that in, too. If anyone has, especially for Duluth, we're going to go up and do a couple days in Duluth and hit some breweries. If you have Duluth or Twin Cities breweries that you want to recommend that you think are must-sees for Isha, or even not breweries, just things to do in general, because obviously my research has been very beer heavy. So
I like food. I like music. I like hikes. Anything. Throw some suggestions in. Jeremy saying hello. What is up, Jeremy? Dig the profile picture there. Welcome.
Better red than dead, or better dead than red.
Welcome to this this live watch along. We're sitting back here watching this Minnesota Golden Gophers game.
I haven't sat back once. Let's be clear.
Western Michigan. I've sat back a couple times. I'm having a grand old time. Hoppy's a little bit more stressed than I am, being the diehard Gophers fan. We're a Minnesota podcast, Minnesota Wild podcast, but Minnesota hockey based podcast. So we pull for the Minnesota teams. I mean, if it's Minnesota State against Gophers, though, I mean that's gonna be a hard one next time around. But hey, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But Jeremy, thank you so much for joining. Don't ever say that backwards again, Hoppy.
Yeah, accurate. Slip. Power
Appreciate
play.
it,
I
Jeremy.
can't say things normal right now.
Play power play. It's the Isha isms rubbing off on Hoppy as well as the beer.
Ah, if I ever say an Ishaism, you let me know. That needs to be documented and saved.
Yeah, I doubt that's gonna happen. They're called Ishisms for a reason. They're one of a kind.
31th.
31. I can't believe this.
That might be the worst one you've done.
Yeah, you might be right. I feel like it's getting worse. Like the more practice, the more I'm talking. I feel like my vocabulary is getting. Shouldn't it be the opposite?
That's great though, because I can tell when they're like organic versus like you trying to like force something out. Because like
Yeah.
there was one time when I was starting to post some, and you're like, I could tell you were trying to force some Ishisms out. 31th was off the cuff. You thought you said the right thing. It was something.
I was just focused watching hockey here. Good penalty kill, by the way, or should I say kill penalty by the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Love their kits, by the way, and I probably said that on
Their
various
kits?
podcasts before. Yeah, the full getup, right? The full getup from the helmet all the way to the socks. We're bringing it back, Berlansky and I now.
I like the colors. They're nice.
No, I love them. I love them for and I just love the symmetry between.
Oh!
Them. Like, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, I must.
What are you doing?
Oh
That-
shit!
Got a breakaway on the penalty kill and shoots it from the fucking top of the circles. What are you doing?
Nerves, man. That just must be nerves.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Or tired? How long do you think? Maybe he was on the ice for a little while.
He had enough of a lead. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That was Jackson Nelson. Be better, buddy. It's okay. Next time. He owes me one now.
On the penalty kill too, so you can't get too critical. But yeah, no, it's
Yes, I can. These are all players that can contribute offensively, or they wouldn't have been picked up by the Gophers. The Gophers don't pick up fourth line guys. They turn
What's
guys
saying?
into fourth line guys to fit the role.
I'm not saying he was a fourth line guy. I'm saying he might have been a little gassed.
He was cruising. He didn't look gassed.
Yeah, thanks everyone tuning in to the live watch along here. Really appreciate it. Derek, appreciate the comments. Shane as well. If you guys are cracking a cold one, much like us, tell us what you're drinking. Again, I'm heading to Minnesota. Shoot, next week. Holy crap! So let me know
Yeah,
if there's
dude, a week
anything
from today. Shit.
I know it. Let me know if there's anything that I need to see there. I'm hitting up a ton of breweries, Lupulin included. Hitting up Tom Reed's, hitting up a Minnesota Wild game, seeing all the necessities. But if there's anything that you want to suggest, get them in the comments. Excited to spend north of 2 weeks in Minnesota. There, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, Derek here commenting. Jackson Nelson denied on the shorthanded breakaway. Good kill for the Gophers. Yes, overall great kill for the Gophers. And now they have to take that momentum and roll with it as they're narrowly leading in shots now. I mean, it's been a pretty even game overall and competitive, back and forth. We see some offensive opportunities from both sides now, and this has been an awesome quarterfinals game here.
Yeah.
And then Wild game right after. Right? I guess it starts while it's going on.
Wild game will start just before it's over, I bet. Because Wild are on in an hour.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, Minnesota hockey fans have some back-to-back teams to support today.
Yeah, and the Wild are going to be in one, that's for sure. Actually, I should see who's starting for that game.
It's Talbot.
Not for us.
No. It's because there's no way they're putting.
Oh, I know
Marc
it's
Andre
Talbot.
in this one.
Well, at least they've said before it's Talbot. We'll see. I don't know. He wasn't. Fleury's probably pretty rested from yesterday. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. Right after segment, I was like, well, maybe.
Unconfirmed, but it'll be Kemper. It's got to be. Which, hey, maybe we'll get some antics from Moose then.
Yeah, man, the other night when they played against the Canucks, you said it. Like, they absolutely dominated the Canucks physically, too. And just right off the hop, Moose getting in a tussle.
And, I mean, you'll be the first to say, though, like, Canucks are the furthest thing from a physical team.
Oh, they're the pansies of the league. 100%.
Which is why, like, everyone was all excited, like, oh, look at how physical we are. Like, I'm very happy they did that. Now let's see them do it against a
Well,
physical team.
That was the game plan. If you weren't physical with the Canucks, what are you doing? Like, you think
Right.
Tyler Myers is going to step up? No, he's going to step up and cross check you in the net because he's a freaking giraffe. But that's about it. Got my WBC wheat and amber for the maroon and gold colors again. Atta boy.
Do you know who Jeremy is, Isha?
No, I can't see.
Jeremy's our boy. Works over at Waconia Brewing Company.
Oh, Jeremy.
Runs the wild watch-alongs. The way you just said Jeremy was just like big old flashbacks to Wedding Crashers. Jeremy.
I'm sorry, Jeremy.
I find you.
I fucking love that movie, bro. I gotta watch it again.
It's
It's
so
so good. My screen in which I'm looking at the watch along here, I'm watching the Wild game on this screen, or it's not the Wild game, the Minnesota Golden Gophers game on this screen. It's very small. So I all I could see in your profile picture was what I think is a stormtrooper. So I can barely read the text. That's what's funny about this. I'm squinting as I'm doing it, but I appreciate you joining and chill with us here. Jeremy. Shane saying, are you streaming the Wild game? No, we're not going 2 for 2 today. Shane, it was one or the other. I figured Poppy's more invested in Golden Gophers today anyways. And if the Gophers lost, I didn't want to risk Poppy bringing down the vibe of the stream again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'd be diving full whiskey at that point.
Yeah. Derek telling us what he's drinking as well. I love it. Yeah, everyone tuning in. Let us know what you're sipping on watching this college hockey game on Sunday.
Professor Bach. I like it.
Derek,
Gravity Box Brewing.
Big fan of Gravity
Wisconsin.
Box Brewing there, being out of Wisconsin.
Exit 69, baby.
As one place I'm not visiting on the trip is Wisconsin, Hoppy.
That's okay. Stage 5, Virgin Klinger.
Oh man, fuck! I used to know so many one-liners from that show, and they're all escaping me now. But like I'm like picturing the scene, but I can't remember the lines verbatim. But yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch that movie because I think it came up on Netflix, like it suggested on one of the providers
that's got to be top 5 movies that I can quote.
It definitely used to be until I started working at the Hockey Podcast Network, and then I lost my mind. All I know is sports stuff and statistics.
That's going to be one of the things we're going to do here in the summer for video participation. Isha is throwing up 2 different movies and letting everyone say which one's more quotable and then what the best quote is. See which one wins out.
Awesome. That is going to be awesome. I can't wait for the summer content. Hell, I can't wait to bank a bunch of video content on my trip next week. The brewery tour is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Like with my gimbal now, Hoppy's gonna.
Oh, with your gimbal.
Hoppy's gonna make fun of me for me being such a hipster trying to film all these nice shots. It's a tough tool, which is why
if it's gonna be a shock to me that you're a hipster, that says more about me than you.
Dude, you better have the camera rolling when I like walk off that plane because I'm like going full face paint Canada, fucking Canadian flag over the shoulder and everything. I'm gonna make my presence known in that airport. I haven't looked at the screen. I don't want to look because Hoppy doesn't seem happy here. Oh no. Well, talk us through it, Hoppy.
Sadness.
Sadness. So much pain as Western
Fluky,
Michigan
bouncy,
scored.
went in on a 3-on-2, Western Michigan, puck bouncing all over the place. Trailer came back, got a fucking wobbly shot.
The goalie couldn't track it, right? He made the initial save, went down in front, and it just kind of bounced around.
Oh, it's not on close, but fuck.
Hey, sometimes you need a dirty one to get back in
I'm
it.
just not sure why.
Yeah, we don't have the volume up, so if you know why it's under review, let us know. Let's see.
Oh, it might be offsides. It might be offside.
Holy shit.
Come on, baby. So the guy leading through passed the puck across, but it looks like it's hugging the blue line as the forward. Oh my God. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Oh, come on.
I just
Come
watched
on.
two. Actually, I'm gonna rewind this too because I
I'm
want to
turning
see.
this bitch up.
I'm just rewinding it to double check it. But that, oh man, that's close. How huge would this be for the Gophers? Like they have to run with this. If this gets overturned, they got to pepper Western Michigan and try to get up to nothing, and that will
I think
really.
it's offside.
Dude, I think it is too. I think you're watching the slow mo right now. Let me go back to live. Where are we at? I think I am a couple seconds behind you. So
Man.
wow.
No goal. Let's fucking go.
Yes! No fucking goal. Let's go.
Woo!
Oh hell yeah! The chat's buzzing too.
Oh baby, that was as close as it gets. But I think they made the right call. I didn't even see that happen on the original play. Oh man.
Hoppy, I've never seen you this buzzing.
Next 2 minutes. Dude, you haven't seen me with hope with the Gophers ever.
No, I know.
I'm sorry. Like I love them and I'll always believe in them and support them. But the reality is they break my heart annually. So
Don't all sports teams though break the hearts of fans?
no, dude, Gopher hockey. I care more about Gopher hockey.
I'm a Canucks fan, Hoppy. They do nothing but disappoint me and break my heart.
Yeah, but growing up until I was like 13, maybe 14, they were like the brand in college hockey.
They say the Canucks were the freaking they had the West Coast Express. They were relevant.
You believed it.
They were relevant all my childhood as well. Even
you've never had Phil Kessel. You've never had Phil Kessel.
No, you never had Swedish Twins.
Oh, I mean, not in hockey, no.
You bastard. Do you remember that Pizza Hut commercial with them?
It was fucking weird, yeah.
That was amazing.
That was Pizza Hut?
I believe it was Pizza
Hut. I thought that was NHL All-Star.
Oh,
because they were doing commercials for that. They had like Ovechkin,
right? Okay,
pranking
Pizza Hut was a sponsor because they were that's why I remember. And it worked because look, that's all I remember from it. The freaking marketing worked because I remember they're eating fucking Pizza Hut.
I don't remember Pizza Hut. So.
Wow,
I just remember we got some Swedish twins coming.
Them doing their freaking terrible.
And then they just walk in. They're like, okay, and they just like click the music.
Absolutely love it. Derek saying tough break for Western Michigan, but a huge break for Minnesota. They should attack right away and jump on them while they feel disappointed. Yes, literally exactly what I just said, Derek. So we're on the same page there.
Oh man!
Again, shout out Shane, shout out Jeremy, shout out anybody tuning in. Sorry I couldn't get the live stats up. Again, I could throw something up. It looks like shit. You might as well just have us up here and the live comments. Maybe I'll get something going on the ticker that has the live score, but do we really need it? You all know what's happening right now, and
I'm not very good at saying what's happening until something's happened. Like I'm very in the zone and just watching what's happening. So you've got to be more the voice of what's occurring. Yeah,
that's totally cool. For NHL games when we do Minnesota Wild watch alongs, flash score, very good, very good service, and we always have the live stats up, and they're awesome with like the shot percentage in the game and all these stuff right now. Like literally, like. NCAA, they had one on their website. Wasn't that great. ESPN's is just a pop-up central, so I don't want to do that for all you folks. You're not interested in what they're trying to sell. And then there was, bless their hearts. I think it was just like some independent college site, but let's just say it wasn't easy on the eyes. So you're with us here, Hoppy and Isha, on this.
Isha, you haven't actually watched a sporting event with me, and it's gonna be.
I can't wait.
Eye-opening.
Yeah, well,
I don't say shit. I don't say shit.
Oh, really? Okay, well,
yeah.
We're literally like yin and yang on this podcast as far as like I think like personalities go, but like that I'm the opposite. I'm the one I'm not the one yelling shoot. I'm not that asshole, but like I'm standing up whenever something's happened. I'm very vocal. I'm making friends with everyone around me. If I'm at a Canucks
I'm talking like sitting on the couch watching a game.
Same.
At the game's a little different.
I'm pretending that like
Although I don't say much at games because I'm the one that's like leaning over, being like, "Do you hear the fucking asshole behind us who thinks he knows about hockey?"
You're such a dick. You're the guy that I throw popcorn at. You're the guy I throw popcorn at and say, "Shut the fuck up. We're all enjoying this game."
Dude, I don't say anything. I let people enjoy themselves, do whatever. But there's people that are like sitting there trying to like teach the person that they're at the game with like what hockey is. And like, oh, here's why this player is so good. I'm like, dude, shut up.
Okay, I'm not like, again, I'm not that asshole, but I'm just like making friends with everyone. Unless they're Boston Bruins fans at Rogers Arena, then I'm literally throwing popcorn at them. And it happened once. They deserved it. We'll just say that. They got kicked out, not me. That was actually the first time Boston came back to Rogers Arena after winning the cup, and Brad Marchand was kissing his rings and getting in with Burrows. It was a good thing we lost the game too. So there you go. Jeremy saying we've had one Swede that I remember. I think Hoppy was talking about off the ice. If the crowd doesn't yell shoot, how will the team know when they should? Right?
That's fair. That is
Dude,
accurate.
it's again, I'm a huge mixed martial arts fan. It's like when I watch MMA, I'd like look, bless my dad. So he's been watching martial arts longer than I have. I'll give him that. Be it probably Bruce Lee movies and Chuck Norris movies. But when he's just like, get in there, go for the double leg tackle or jab more. I'm like, Dad, they know what they're doing.
Gross. We've got news from our good friend Jesse Pierce. UMD's Noah Cates signs with the Flyers and will join Philly in, wait for it, Minnesota. They face off with the Wild on Tuesday.
Wow. Well, there you go. There's some incentive to watch that game then, because
watching the Cates brothers in the state tourney was fucking a pleasure. They were so good.
Hey, incentive to watch that game now, because let's be honest, I've had no incentive all season to watch anything Philadelphia Flyers related, because they've been a dog of a team.
The scumbags lose makes me happy. They've
been a dog of a team, an absolute atrocious roster on the ice. It's like it's
more atrocious. They don't have Giroux.
I know, and it's been terrible hockey.
And they've signed Ristolainen long term, so even more atrocious.
I just love that comment there. If the crowd doesn't yell shoot, how will they know?
That's fair. Can't argue it.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, the Minnesota Golden Gophers still up 1-0 in this game. Western Michigan gave them a little bit of a scare there, but offside. What are you going to do? Both teams this period, though, have been equally aggressive, have been equally skating well. They both want it. Sometimes halfway through a game, whether it's a close game or not, you can kind of see what team wants it more. Both of these teams want to win. They both want to go to the semis.
Yeah, of course they do. And the one bummer that'll come out of the Gophers winning is that we'll never get to see Western Michigan play Michigan. Fucking cowards. It's too bad, because it was cool that they were like helping grow the brand of Big Ten. Like, they obviously have all of the draft picks ever on their team right now, but fucking cowards wouldn't play Western Michigan. Bunch of bitches.
Jeremy asking if they still have Nick Seeler.
I thought they did. Let me double check. Daily face-off. Always.
By the way, everyone who's tuning into our stream here, you see on the screen, we have a bunch of people who support us as well, and we really appreciate if you go and support them locally. Northland
Sealer,
Vodka.
third pair.
There you go. Locally, Northland Vodka. Best damn vodka in Minnesota. Support Mark Parrish. Support them because they support us. And the best damn frozen pizza in Minnesota.
And they support local hockey. 5% always goes to local hockey.
Oh, even better. Sorry I missed that. Of course. Can't overlook that at all. Unfortunately, Mark St. Cloud Huskies not making it.
Dude, what a fucking way to lose, though, huh? Like,
Dude.
Do you even know the story?
I was following it on Twitter, but again, I wasn't active on Twitter this weekend because of
their starting goalie had pneumonia. Was sitting on the
sucks.
bench. They lost 5-4, and those 5 goals came on 15 shots.
What I did see was Quinnipiac's Twitter account just beefing with everyone.
At Caleb. No, it was just Caleb.
No, Caleb, Veach,
they were jumping in with Caleb. It was Caleb's beef.
Well, Caleb is the catalyst. Let's be honest. I love it. After talking to him on last week's podcast episode, which, by the way, if anyone wants more college hockey fix, check out the last Sota Pod episode. Last Monday, we released 3 episodes, one of them including Caleb. Like, he's such not necessarily a troll, but he's a character on Twitter. night and day on the podcast. A really nice guy. Not to say that I was underwhelmed or disappointed. I was just a little shocked. I thought he was going to come in swinging with the ammunition that he brings on Twitter on the podcast. Definitely toned it down a bit, but I appreciate that. And Caleb's an absolute beauty and excited to.
Next time I'll tell him you want to fight.
Yeah. Bring out the gloves. Let's go. I hope we get to meet up in Minnesota. That would be awesome. I have no idea where Caleb actually lives, but I assume it's somewhere in the state.
He's actually up closer to Lupulin.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, maybe we link up there.
There we go.
I'm just gonna have to move to Minnesota, Hoppy, because there's so much we want to squeeze into 2 weeks. And
Isha, I've already said it. You just know it won't ever happen. You're a liar.
it's going to happen. Maybe we do a little apartment hunting on one of the off days too.
Yeah, if you actually have any intention to move, sure, we'll go look at apartments.
Wait,
but I don't believe you.
I'm waiting for our dollar just to rise a little bit so that my entire bank account, when I transfer to American dollars, doesn't get hit with a fucking 30% decrease.
That's a bitch slap, yeah.
Okay, so you know where I'm coming from.
Well, if you're waiting for that, you're never coming because
look, I remember it being par in my day. It's never going to be par again, but at least 10 cents up. Let's do that. But again, that might be wishful thinking, as you know what gas prices are right now in Canada? $8 a gallon.
Yeah, but that's Canadian.
It's still $8 a gallon, Hoppy. That's insane. It's insane. Absolutely.
Good thing you bike.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't afford a car even though I wanted to now.
See, the thing is, if you moved down here, you wouldn't need to commute.
No,
Wherever
I'd
you
ride
live
my
is
bike.
where your studio would be.
Well, I'd ride my
if you
bike.
need to go somewhere, you'd either bike or I'd have to fucking drive you.
No, I got snow tires on my bike. We're good. That was a new addition this year after the freaking.
There's not many breweries you're going to be able to get to within biking distance of wherever you end up.
Try me. I can cycle.
All right.
I may not be able to ride home, but I'll definitely get there.
Isha, bad news. Jeremy's throwing the invite to see Mark Parrish and try some Waconia Brewing Company beer at Buffalo Wine and Spirits on April 7th, which is when we are
We're in Duluth. And Jeremy, that's my freaking birthday.
So, Jeremy, if you really care about Isha's birthday, you and Parrish will just come up and meet us in Duluth.
That's
Figure
true.
it out.
You can do that too. No, I would absolutely love that, Jeremy. And tell Mark and everybody hi. Would love to experience that. But Hoppy's already got some fun stuff planned in Duluth for my birthday there, and really excited. I have a shed. Hey, how much you renting for that shed? Because in Vancouver, a shed goes for like $2,000 a month. No, I'm Hoppy. I'm not even kidding. No, you're This is what's funny. You're laughing, but it's the truth. You
told me what you're about to rent for, and it's not a shed.
Yeah, that's off my parents, so it's a lot cheaper. If they were renting to any chump university student, it'd be like 4 times more.
Jesus.
Dude, it's crazy. And it's funny because my parents are such awesome people. They feel bad raising the rent, but they have to because that's what the market is right now. It's just crazy. For a 1-bedroom, it's like Chicago downtown prices in freaking Vancouver and Nanaimo, which is around $2,000 for 1 bedroom, something like that.
Jeez.
The only reason I know that is because I was looking up apartments in Minnesota compared to other big cities. So there you go.
Man. Yeah, you're gonna be just fine out here. Even with the money you lose transferring from Canada to the US, you're still gonna come out ahead.
I know, that's what's crazy. Oh man, and there's some nice apartments in downtown St. Paul.
Throw that into the chat. Where should Isha live?
Yeah, there you go. Some of these comments.
Right now, I'm just praying to get through this period.
Jerry says I'm game if Mark is. Well, there you go. Hey, Mark is our friend. He said so himself live. We had an awesome interview, which is on this YouTube channel.
Unprovoked, he said that.
Which is on this YouTube channel. One of the best interviews we've ever had. Look, we love our beer interviews. We love the brew tube, but it was something special with Mark. Excited to bring him back on the Sota pod. Eventually we'll do some stuff in person. I'm not sure if we can squeeze it into these two weeks that I'm there, but eventually, we will, which will be awesome. But again, check out the interview. It was great stuff. I mean, everyone knows in Minnesota anyways, Mark's story, but he was just as candid on our podcast with 2 strangers at the time, now friends. than he was with anybody, than he was with Russo and everyone else who he told this story with. So check it out. We really appreciate it. It's probably easier to find on our YouTube channel now than it is our podcast. But if you hit up Google and just look up SotaPod Mark Parrish, I'm sure it'll be like one of the first ones that come up. Man, I'm buzzing not only because of this Russian Imperial Stout, which I just finished. I'm gonna have to go grab probably the Space Kitty. But I'm buzzing over this hockey. This has been outstanding hockey, man. And I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday, I watched the Canucks and Flames game. I didn't watch the Wild game. I'm gonna be perfect.
How was that? Wait, Canucks and Flames?
Well, Canucks first. They won, which was nice. And then the Flames and Edmonton game. I have to say, what?
I didn't even see that game. I just saw what the score was. I saw the video of the fans chanting, "We want 10."
Dude, no. Well, I will raise you. You know what was better than that? What was caught on the mic and the broadcast was in a timeout. You heard Daryl Sutter say, finish them. And it was 9, finish them. And I was just like, oh my God. Got a little tussle here with the Golden Gophers in Western Michigan, which is nice to see. Some old time hockey, some tempers flaring. It's intense. I love it. But no, back to that Flames game though, Hoppy. Like it was back and forth, right? And overall, I have to say, and look, I know Wild fans, they want to rip on refs. It's every team in the National Hockey League this year. And
What do you mean?
I honestly think that after watching the Edmonton game in Calgary, I don't think the refs are picking on Minnesota at all. That's how bad it was. Gary Bettman clearly wants McDavid in the playoffs, and that's all I'll say because it was an absolute joke. And I don't root for the Flames. I'm happy with their progression this year.
You actually hate the Flames.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Canucks fan. They're not my team at all.
No, they actually are your team that you've lost. So
yeah. Anyways, it was atrocious, the officiating in that game, and that's part of the reason why I think Edmonton was able to not a lot of the goals. Now, not all of them were on the power play, but just because of that extra momentum that they were getting, they were able to get away with murder for most of the game. Dude, after halfway through the second period, something clicked for Calgary, and they just stomped them. Like it looked like
they're better.
Edmonton, well, yes, but it looked like the Edmonton always got the wind knocked out of them, and it didn't matter if they were on, even if the Flames were on the penalty kill. They looked like the better team. It was an outstanding hockey game to watch, other than the first half of just terrible officiating. Because then after that, it didn't matter. It didn't matter if the Flames were shorthanded. They were still dominating the Oilers. So that was a fun one to watch, mostly because my two really good friends who I watch a lot of hockey with out here are Flames fans. So they were just right fucking jacked, and they hate the Coilers. So there you go.
So it's going to sound mean, but the reality is, Isha, if not for the fact that Calgary was a Canadian NHL team, they would be my favorite to win the Stanley Cup right now.
Well, you don't like Canadian teams winning Stanley
No, it's not
Cup?
that I don't like them. It's that I don't have faith in them to win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, no.
we have quit the track record that says so.
Was it 93 or 94?
93.
It was when Montreal, 93. My birthday. So 29 years since Canada. Well, soon to be 29 years. God damn, I'm almost 30, Hoppy. My 20s are almost done. It just hit me today.
So sorry.
It just hit me today because right before we probably were tweeting back and forth at each other at this point. 2 years ago on April 7th, when I thought I was turning 28, but I turned 27. That was a beautiful birthday present. It was such a crazy year that I literally forgot how old I was, and I feel like I got a whole year of my life back.
Wow.
Very much know I'm turning 29 this year, and that's a little sad. Derek saying 2-1 Chicago leads Iowa. Oh, it sucks that they're playing Chicago of all teams too. With less than 5 minutes left in the second.
Wait, Chicago?
The Wolves, I'm guessing. Chicago Wolves.
Oh, yeah.
With the goal from Dominic Turgeon, Chafee is Iowa's hot hand right now. Chicago Wolves.
Chafee's been killing it, man. That's the guy that Z's been talking about nonstop.
Yep. Yeah, no, he has for sure.
Like every time I see it's like, oh, Chafee scored a goal assisted by Addison and Rossi. Like,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
They've been fun to. I mean, Derek, correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I haven't with my eyes watched, but from living vicariously through Z, they've seemed like a fun team to watch this year. despite them, being in a pretty much an eliminator game right now for playoff hopes. Jeremy saying, Hoppy, since you're a big Gopher fan, who is your all-time starting five and goalie?
And goalie.
Good question, Jeremy.
And goalie.
And goalie.
Goalie's going to take a lot of thought because there's a lot to choose from there. If we're going the starting five, we're for sure going to say, I'm going to go Schrader, Myers, Kessel.
Good old Jordan
Schrader, best
I
high school hockey
don't even
player I've
hate
ever
him.
watched.
I don't even hate
He was
him.
an incredible gopher, and he's one of my favorites. And
It's not
Phil
his fault.
Kessel will never be beaten. And I wanted to spread it out. I didn't want to pick two guys from the same era. So I went with Myers, keeping it to today because seriously, Myers has been everything I could have asked for so far this season.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my starting group. Otherwise, Blake Wheeler for sure should be the third one there, going with Kessel. At defense, I know he hasn't been good for the Wild, but Alex Goligoski was so fun as a Gopher defenseman. And then, man, there's a lot of good answers at defense for me. As far as fun to watch, I'm kind of inclined to go with Mikey Riley, currently playing for the Boston Bruins. He was a really fun one for me, but obviously I'd put more thought into it and come up with someone that's more balanced to kind of counter what Goligoski brought offensively. Find someone that's a little bit more defensively responsible, but I don't care. That's what we're going with. Kangas is definitely high up there on goaltending. But I mean, you look back in the history, there's so many. There's guys obviously Thomas Vanek. I know Joey's probably puking in his mouth right now because I didn't pick him. Sabres legend.
Hey, Canucks legend too, by the way. He got us a second round pick, the best trade that Jim Benning ever made under the Vancouver Canucks.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, the beauty of the Gophers is there's a million different ways to answer this question, right? Unfortunately, we just don't have more natties to show for it, right?
Hey, I can empathize there as a
But
Canucks
Phil
fan.
Kessel's the only required answer. As long as you pick Phil Kessel, I don't care what you do with the rest. He's my hero.
I'm guessing, Jeremy, your team is also the Gophers?
Yeah, Jeremy, what's the crew? What's the five?
I
mean, Stauber's definitely the golden answer there.
Vanek, Wheeler, Kessel, Crowley, and Martin.
Martin
Stauber
deserves some
between
shout out too.
Yep.
I definitely should have given him more credit, especially being a long-standing Penguin. But
I was talking
you
to
can only pick five.
Kyle's our friend, my friend Kyle. Toppy knows him as well. His cousin Tim is a huge Flames fan, and he was actually telling me he went to Minnesota. He's a huge fisherman too, actually, for a big fishing trip, and was able to catch a Wild game back when Willie Mitchell was still on the team, and Willie Mitchell being the fisherman as well. I'm pretty sure Tim and him have done some things here on the island before, but it was just funny talking to Tim yesterday and him really saying Willie Mitchell's time on the Minnesota Wild is what got him to become a fan of him and follow him throughout the rest of his career, as he was even then, without his cups, obviously was still a force, and played with the Vancouver Canucks and the LA Kings respectively as well.
All right.
Oh, look, this sucks apparently. Buddy, you weren't here this whole... Put it this way. If you were here this whole time and you're just saying this now, well, then joke's on you, because you've been here for over an hour and we just haven't put it up. We said right off the bat, we can't show the actual game. This is YouTube, my man. Get on ESPN Plus, for God's sakes. Come on. Thanks for giving us those watch hours, though. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. What are you, minute? What is this?
What could we do to make it more enjoyable besides showing the game?
Ooh, that's yeah. There you go. Give us your answer. Was it Minnetonka Black Squirt A hockey team? So you're representing a hockey team and you're saying we suck because we're following the law? Come on. Come on.
Hang on, Isha. Youth hockey programs in Minnesota do not follow the law. So that is very on brand.
Okay. Then on brand. Thank you very much.
That shit beautiful than a motherfucker.
Jeremy saying Neil Broughton. I'm not even.
I mean, okay, if we're gonna go back to Broughton and Masic, like I never saw them play, so I don't feel comfortable picking them. But yeah, you're right. And yes, Leopold, great call out there, Jeremy. Leopold, honestly, I changed my answer. He is my second defenseman to play with Goligoski. I would take Leopold for sure.
What about the netminders? Jeremy gave some other names.
Wilcox for sure, and Janicek again. Like, sure, if we're gonna pick guys that we've never seen play, I'll go with it because he played on the Miracle team. Well, watched the Miracle team from the best seat, but I mean, hard for me to pick someone based on reputation and not actually watching them.
Right.
Kind of like I can't say shit about Gordie Howe, right? I can't say shit about Bobby Orr. Like, I hear they're really good.
Put it this way, I've watched enough of Gordie Howe now to be able to at least troll some fans and say that he's better than Gretzky. I can at least say I watched it. No, I actually
Well, Lemieux's better than Gretzky. That's okay.
When I learned that I could actually watch old hockey footage, and maybe this is just I was privy to this, and I'm lucky because I lived in BC's capital for a while in Victoria, and the archives there are just like the city's archives are so vast that I was able to go and just watch Hoppy load in film of like old hockey. Like we're talking like even like NHL games from years past when they weren't even broadcasted, just collected on film and stored in the archives. And Gordie Howe games, past NHL games, anything CBC from way back in the day, or any local broadcasts that aren't even around anymore. Again, I was just very fortunate that the city of Victoria, when I lived there in college, had one of the best archives ever that I could go and literally sit there for hours and watch, Gordie Howe play and watch the legends, and even like going back further, like black and white, just, hockey before hockey was really even, a thing. And that was super cool. So I watched a ton of Gordie Howe, long and the short of it, in those. I feel like 2 weeks straight. I went there like almost every day, got a little lit before I walked inside, maybe a little of the hippie lettuce, a little bit of the, had my flask of whatever whiskey was in there, and just sit back and watch hockey for hours instead of studying. It was amazing. We got some comments coming in here. Derek saying 2-1 Iowa, trails after 2. Masic is the legend.
John Masic, yeah.
Leopold underrated in his era too.
Derek, if you haven't had it, you should probably keep your eye out for the next time the back channel releases their John Masic beer, grade 8. He actually came out on site and signed beers too. So
really
that was cool. Yeah.
Cool. Jeremy saying I went to Armstrong and he's the only hockey bright spot on our history. Leopold, that is.
Oh, Leopold. Oh, so good. So good.
Goligoski scratched for tonight's Wild game. Yeah, he hasn't been doing too good. He's
been really bad. Doesn't mean that he's not one of the best Gophers, period.
I just think like he's getting old. Like, because he started off the season looking pretty good. Like he wasn't popping off the screen and you weren't saying, oh, Goligoski had a really good game every single day, but he wasn't noticeable, which again, as an NHL shutdown defender, if you're not noticeable,
he's not a shutdown defender.
No, but at the beginning of the season, he actually did a good job playing the two-way game and wasn't noticeable on any mishaps offensively. Yeah, wasn't super offensive. Did actually put up a few points though. What I'm trying to get at is wasn't noticeable in any negative light nor positive light, which I think is a solid goaltender, a solid defenseman at the NHL level.
Isha, box style multi-lager or chocolate milk stout with milk, sugar, coffee, and natural Irish cream flavor.
The chocolate milk stout, because I was so disappointed with my chocolate milk stout that I was saving for like 4 weeks running. And I was incredibly disappointed with it. And again, nothing against Shane. If he's still in this chat, he's the one who brought me all those beers.
All right.
But yeah, go with that one. That sounds amazing.
Well, then coming up here, shout out Derek. This is a Wisconsin beer brewing project from Eau Claire. Cow. Milk stout with Irish cream.
Oh.
We'll give it a go. Give it a whirl.
Good. That sounds good. Jeremy saying, how do you pronounce his name?
Janicek. You my number one from personal experiences. You guys will get the full story when you come to when we come to Waconia. That's one of the first stops for you, Isha. That's one of your first stops, unless Jeremy forgot.
If that's not a tease, I don't know what is, Jeremy.
A week from today, we'll be out there, man.
I am so pumped. I am so pumped to try your peanut butter beer. I've been waiting a year, 2
you
years
hey,
almost.
you better have the peanut butter and jelly queued up, Jeremy.
I've been
Don't you
waiting
fuck
almost
that
2
up.
years for this. Because Waconia, one of the first beer guests we brought, if not
They
the
were
first
the
beer
first.
guest
They were the
that
first.
we brought on the podcast.
And Isha lost the video of it. So
Well, that's why we're going back. Yes, the old Zoom days. And you can't have a top 5 without Masick. Out of all the Gophers, he's the only number that's ever been retired by the team. Oh, I didn't know that.
that's because they didn't have the decency to retire Kessel's number, but I forgive them. I forgive them.
Good to know. I will have to check that out. I don't have a problem with Geezer being scratched.
No,
No
he hasn't
problem
been
at all.
great.
No.
Good news is he was only signed for 1 year. So
Exactly that.
exactly.
I think I have that actually queued up.
Exactly that.
Here we go. Oh man, I had to like remake that meme because on one computer I don't have it. I don't have it saved, and I needed to respond with it on Twitter, so I had to like quickly jump on a meme generator and exactly that. For those who, by the way, don't know where that clip came from, one of the best interviews ever. I believe it was 3 or 4 years ago now at the World Juniors. The Swiss team was playing Canada. And the coach was just talking to TSN, being like, "No, Canada, they do everything better. They're faster than us. They're stronger than us. They shoot better than us. You know, how many draft picks do they have? 5 first rounders, the rest in the second round, and 1 fourth rounder who's played the most NHL games. Victor Mete, by the way, for those wondering." And he's like, "Well, what are we even doing here then?" And then he's like, "Well, is that what you tell your team?" And he said,
Exactly that.
Unbelievable. Christian Woolwin, I believe, is his name. Now resides in Montreal, but of Swiss descent, and coaches the Swiss junior team. Unbelievable stuff there.
Unbelievable stuff there.
Unbelievable. Started period 3. You guys are much more entertaining than Melrose and Buccigo. So I mean, that's the goal.
That's a really low bar. That's a low bar.
That's the goal, Jeremy. Right? I mean, if we're not, what are we doing here?
The lowest of bars that could be
Minnetonka hockey, they don't think so, but they're trying to find the game. That's a little bit different. Everyone here who's
you're
enjoying
from Minnetonka, you have money. Just pay for the channel.
I don't know where that is, but I just know the name.
Lake Minnetonka is
Lake Minnetonka,
the
yes.
bougiest lake.
Yes.
They're from Minnetonka.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Actually, Wayzata is definitely way bougier than Minnetonka, but both are on Lake Minnetonka.
Beautiful lake, I hear. Beautiful lake.
Oh, it's quite the lake.
That's why I was okay with saying it. Oh, I mean, Jeremy, this is so much fun, man. We appreciate you joining. I hope you can jump on some more of our watch alongs. I mean, every Sunday we go live, whether it's a Minnesota Wild watch along, in this case, NCAA, and if there's not a game on Sunday, it's just a fucking game on Sunday every day.
10 seconds in, we have a Gopher power play.
Oh, look at that.
Power play.
Right away. But yeah, like I said, Jeremy, if there's not a game on that we're doing a live watch along for, sitting back and not relaxing clearly, but watching this game with you, we do a 2-hour live podcast taping, which we usually bring on a guest in every hour and continue to take your guys' comments here. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, helps us out tremendously. And as you know, we have a podcast. So if you miss anything,
Let's fucking go!
Oh, woo! Right off the bat.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Lots of perimeter passing, cross, and then finally, right through the middle of everything, sidewall to sidewall, over to Huglin, fucking buried.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm watching the replay
section,
right now.
Section 8er, Roseau native, freshman,
Boom!
Mr. Huglin, who I love that they have been putting him up with Nyes and Myers for this game. Huglin is sick. Roseau stud.
Wow.
And yeah, this cow is probably better than whatever you were drinking.
He's fucking sick. I rewound it a bit and just gone back in this. I guess still rewound. I'm trying to think. Is that the right term for going back in the stream? I mean, we aren't rewinding tapes anymore.
Flashback.
But anyways, the spinorama sequence, during that offensive sequence, before he even got the puck back to take the shot, was unbelievable itself. That was Quinn Hughes' copy. Wow.
Man.
Wow. Unbelievable skating there. The comments are buzzing. I love it. Jeremy saying I was listening to you in the car when I got the Wally shaver. Unbelievable. The Wally shaver. I have a Wally shaver as well. Yep, we got a goal. We got a goal.
That feels so much better.
This is what we want.
I'm actually finally calm.
Dude, you're actually smiling too. Look at that. Look at that. You can barely see through the stash there, but he's smiling. He's smiling.
It's a reserved smile. It's still not over. There's still plenty of time to fuck up, but a 2-goal lead feels so much better than a 1-goal lead.
I was almost thinking of actually growing my beard out to be the exact same as Hoppy's when I visit the old handlebar.
That would take you all of what, half a day?
Dude, I shaved.
If it was just this, it would be a handlebar.
Okay, dude, I shaved 2 days ago.
Oh, okay. I thought it would grow faster for you. Never mind.
Still, I mean, it's uncomfortable to sleep already. That's the only reason why I don't grow a full beard. All my friends are like, "You're the only one out of us who can straight up like, do whatever you want. Go full like Dagestani style beard, or I was gonna throw some other names out there, but I won't. Let's just say my dad looked like one of them when he came home from his work camp, not shaving for 4 months. But anyways, it just I can't sleep when that stage after stubble, before the full on beard. I toss and turn on the pillow, man. And then when I take the pillow off, I can't sleep. It's so uncomfortable that I'd just rather go baby face.
See, the first day or two is weird. After that, it just feels normal.
Jeremy saying best Gopher to come out of Rosu, not named.
That's not fair, Jeremy. You got to give. He hasn't done anything in the show, but dude, Aaron Ness, what a freak of nature he was. This is a kid that was so good at hockey, Isha, that he decided to make his junior year his senior year, graduated a year early, and went straight to the Gophers.
Wow.
And gosh, I think he's in Arizona now. Arizona or Washington. He's been back and forth.
Nice.
But again, hasn't gone where we might have thought he would, but that guy can he was something.
I love Derek's comment. Because most go to North Dakota or St. Cloud.
That's also true.
Oh man, I didn't really...
That's actually a pretty good comment. Thank you, Derek.
Oh man, I didn't realize the animosity towards North Dakota until I started doing this podcast. I thought they were just kind of like one of Minnesota's teams, but
no. And I mean, the reality is the fact that we hate them so much is a testament to how good they are, right? They have a great program history that aligned with the Gophers, and I still to this day there is no better rivalry. You will never give me a better college rivalry than North Dakota against Minnesota. No chance.
What are some of the other big college rivalries in
BCBU? In Minnesota. I mean, they're all rivals in Minnesota. Let's be real.
But what are some what you said North Dakota and I don't know, North Dakota's not in Minnesota, but you said Gophers, North Dakota. What are some other do you say the Mavericks have a team around Minnesota or in Minnesota that they like?
It's gonna sound a little conceited, and it probably is, but I think all of them think that the Gophers are their biggest rival.
Okay. No, fair enough. I've heard that before.
When your biggest rival has a bigger rival, I don't know. Because guess what? Gophers go in order: North Dakota, Wisconsin, then the rest of the Minnesota teams.
Okay. So now let's go NCAA wide.
BCBU is a big one. I mean, that's
the biggest one.
That's as far as I go. I don't know.
I'm just curious.
There's a lot of really good rivalries. It does change a little bit. It's fluid as far as who's good when and who's in what conference, but BCBU is the big one out east for my money.
Every other team in Minnesota hates the U of M.
Hates Nodak. Yeah. Right.
That's exactly. Yeah. That's funny because again, junior hockey is very regional. It doesn't matter who's on the team, what the roster is. Vancouver, Victoria, always going to be, crazy. And it's because it's so close to travel between them too. The fans just go crazy. I mean, Vancouver Giants fans, in Victoria are absolutely insane. And most of them are just drunk moms off the box wine, just going fucking nuts. Like,
Off
it's
the
just
box
great.
wine, Jesus.
Oh, you know it. I've seen it. They're smuggling it in with those big purses, those fake Gucci's. I've seen them. Those Oak Bay moms. Come on now. Anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know the abbreviations, Jeremy. You're killing me here.
Denver and Colorado
Oh,
College.
that's what I figured.
I don't know that they have a big rivalry, to be honest. I think there's bigger. I don't know. And when I talk about the Minnesota teams too, like, in fairness, for a long time, like, you'd go to games and people would chant Gopher rejects at them because it's like the kids that couldn't get into the U. That's not the case anymore. Like, at least the big three, even not Mankato yet, which I think they're starting to make the turn where they're going to start getting bigger recruits. Mankato digs deep and they do a really good job recruiting and finding the right kids for their brand of hockey. But dude, Duluth and St. Cloud, make no mistake, they're getting just as good of recruits as the Gophers. It's been a big transformation. Bemidji, hey, they are what they are. And I'm really curious to see what St. Thomas will become, just being another Twin Cities team that has money, has a good campus, good school. In a couple of years, we could be talking about them as being in contention. It's
you can
crazy.
You have to imagine that kids are going to want to go to the upcoming team too and be part of their first big legacy, right?
You're not choosing to go there though if you have an offer from the U. That's just reality.
True, but maybe the more they develop, the more they'll bring in some more, homegrown kids. And then
I think they'll get plenty of homegrown.
And then one or two, stars from maybe a different, outside the state join as well. And you're like, okay, now we're cooking. When we're bringing interest outside the state, that I think that's also when. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's also when a team up and coming who joins Division I is probably like, okay, well, interest outside locally. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for our program.
You got to find the interest wherever you can get it, because you're not going to immediately take the best kids from Minnesota. But
no, for sure.
Just like how St. Cloud, Mankato, Duluth, like, all started their builds, right? It's okay, who's left? Because there's still a lot of good talent that goes to places outside of Minnesota. So it's just who's left? Do they fit what we're trying to build? Let's do it.
How much do teams, and I guess because of COVID and I guess the state of the world out in Europe now with everything going on in Russia, it's probably not happening right now, but like how big is European recruiting to college programs?
It fluctuates. Gophers have been pretty good about bringing in European players. I mean, you obviously know Thomas Vanek, obviously know Eric Holla, and of course the most recent Sampo Rantanen, who was Sampo Ranta, sorry. Wait. Tripping myself up. Anyways, he was a stud last year for the Gophers. And he's already with Colorado. Yeah, the fucking Finnish kid.
And of course, he'd be on Colorado with that name.
But you see a lot of good ones that come in and end up going pro too, like across college hockey. But it's still got a ways to go, and you can only have so many imports. But there's definitely been more European recruiting for sure.
No, that's cool to see. It's obviously there's an import draft into major junior, so that's where their imports come from. But
are there limits on imports though?
I think there's a limit on overagers and imports. I think it's 5. I could be wrong. It's 3 overagers and 5 imports, I think. And I think it's only a 2 or 1 round draft for the WHL import draft, anyways.
Cool.
So it's like you got to do your research because you have 1 or 2 shots to do it.
Yeah.
But it is pretty cool. Again, I just love talking about like how how the college game is structured, in comparison to how we do things up here in Canada. And for the most part, I'll use the major junior comparison because that is where the big money is, right? With the CHL, the BCHL, we're just lucky. I'm just lucky anyways that I'm here and I grew up with that. And that is the best junior A league, much like the USHL in the United States. That's the big one. Whereas like, I don't want to disrespect the SJHL or the AJHL in Saskatchewan or Alberta. I mean, the Ontario one's an absolute joke, so I will disrespect that one. But it is just true. The OJHL is an absolute joke. No NHL players come from that league. But again, I'll make the direct comparisons to the league and the organizations that are developing these players with money, which is the CHL at the end of the day. Derek, by the way, has left us. shout out to Derek for giving us a bunch of comments throughout this stream and supporting the Sota Pod. If you haven't already, if you're checking out this watch along live, if you're tuning in or you're listening back to bits on our podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment on the videos, like the videos. It helps us tremendously. But 5 days a week, we have podcast content. So go check us out there at the Sota Pod, wherever you get your podcast from. Jeremy saying, Ranta, Vanek, Holla, Breestedt have all been pretty good. Yep. Clapbomb says, it sucks living in Canada. They never show college hockey. Back when I lived in Minnesota, I could get the games everywhere. Yeah, well, I mean, c'est la vie, man. We're in Canada. They're going to first and foremost show, curling, even the Canadian University finals. What is it now? U Sports? I used to be CIS. That game is playing, I believe, right now. So TSN probably is going to push that game, right? I mean, it's the Canadian content first, and it makes sense. But I'm glad that TSN's actually covering this tournament. So if you have a TSN subscription, you can jump on tsn.ca, much like I'm doing right now, whether you're have a cable subscription or just an online subscription, and watch the game. Jimmy saying, nice accent piece to the Minnesota boys on the bulk of the lineup. Clapham. Wait, really? Yes, Clapham. I'm literally watching it on tsn.ca right now. Sign in. They have every game. They're broadcasting every single game in this tournament. Get on it. Get on it. The schedule's up there and everything, man. I know. Too good to be true. I thought it was too. It's real. You're like 10 seconds behind, but it's real. Brock Faber, by the way, Hobby, was one player I didn't know of before he joined the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Oh.
Yeah, Bob McKenzie was super high on him when he was in junior.
I mean, he's a great player, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm noticeable in this game, for sure. I mean, you gave me some players obviously to keep my eye out on, but a few have just like jumped out naturally, and I mean, Brock Faber's obviously one of those.
So who have you noticed that I didn't say anything about?
Ask me in 2 minutes, and I'll know, because like
give me 2 minutes to research.
Well, no, just give me 2 minutes to watch again, because like right off the top of my head I forget, but like I'll see them on the ice and be like, oh yeah, there it is. I mean, obviously, what is it, Matty Nye, 89, obviously
that's not one that I didn't say.
No, I know scored the goal, and an easy number to remember. That's
have you noticed number 77?
I was just gonna say 77 actually. What's his name?
Who that is?
What's his name?
Do you actually not know?
No, what's his name?
Look at it right there.
It's
one that you should be familiar with.
One sec. I can't see it on this computer.
It'll be on the screen. Isha, what's the worst move that Bill Guerin has made as the GM of the Minnesota Wild?
The worst move?
Worst move.
There's not many, so I should be able to think of it. I don't know. What is it? I'm totally drawing a blank here.
He waived a certain player.
Oh, fucking Pitlick.
77 is a Pitlick.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's baby Pitlick. Now, it's the one that was drafted by Montreal.
That's so funny. Literally, go from looking at this screen to that one, and he's right there. So there it is. Fucking right.
Rhett Pitlick.
R-H-E-T-T, right? Rhett. Interesting.
You're a good reader.
I didn't even read it. I just remembered. What did I say last episode? I only remember if it's up in front of me.
As soon as it's up in front of me, I remember it. Like, yeah, no fucking shit.
Should we be in town for the Frozen Four? I don't think so. I think it's right after.
No, dude. Frozen Four. We will be in Duluth for the first games of the Frozen Four, but the championship game, we're still figuring out where we're gonna go. But we're gonna be somewhere in the Twin Cities on Saturday. It's got to be somewhere that we can watch UFC and college hockey, because Isha has no interest in college hockey and I have no interest in UFC.
Hey, it's not that I have no interest. It's
you have no interest. You literally said, I don't want to watch it.
That's not what I said. I said I'm watching UFC over that because there's 2 freaking title fights and Hamza Chimaev's fighting. So that's
right. And I said, let's watch both. And you're like, no, I'm just watching UFC.
I said my attention is probably going to be on UFC. But hey, the one good thing about this is the UFC event is 6 hours long. This one is only 3 max. So, I mean, we're still going to get the UFC.
Yeah, I'll figure out how the timing is lined up, because we were actually supposed to be going to another brewery, Jeremy, to watch UFC. Because
actually, yeah, we should talk.
The owner is a big UFC guy, and they've got like a back room that they were going to reserve for it, but they only had one TV. And I'm sorry, Isha, especially.
What time's the game? Let's settle it right here. What time's the game?
I don't know. The game doesn't exist yet.
What time do you think is going to be good? It's probably not going to be like
6 or 7.
Okay, well then, yeah, or the main event's probably going to start around that time. I think it starts like 9 Eastern is when the main event will probably start.
So 7, yeah.
7, yeah.
Or no, 8.
Or 8, yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Anyways.
If like knocking on all the wood in the world right now, if we know that either Mankato or the Gophers will be in the championship game, I'm watching that fucking championship game. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. And if
zero chance.
If it wasn't a pay-per-view, I wouldn't care because then I could just literally watch it the day after. But because it's pay-per-view, you have to buy it and it's not available for a few weeks after. And it's like, I gotta watch Chimaev fight. I gotta watch him beat Gilbert Burns. I have to.
Yeah.
And fucking Aljamain Sterling, he didn't deserve that belt. I gotta watch Peter Yan beat the shit out of him. And Volk, Hoppy, I already got money bet on Volkanovski, so he better fucking beat the Korean Zombie, or I'm fucked.
The Korean Zombie.
So yes, Jeremy. Long of the short of it, I will be in town for the Frozen Four. Whether my attention will be on it depends on who's fighting at that exact moment. But if it's the main card, I'll probably be tuning into Chimaev because he's an absolute killer.
The cow is definitely sweeter than I'd like, but it still tastes good. So
okay, I mean that's what I figured. What was all in it again? Because it was more than just.
It's pretty sweet, man. Chocolate milk stout with milk, sugar, coffee, and natural Irish cream flavoring.
So the Irish cream flavoring is probably what made it go over the edge.
Nah, dude, the milk sugar.
The milk sugar.
Well, dude, if it wasn't like milk stouts to me, always get a little sweeter, and I don't like it.
Yeah. That's true. Man, I can't like the milk stout that I had was so bad. I can't even. Anyways, fuck it. I'll watch the Wild game. TSN being annoying, man. Fleury was already my favorite player, and now he is a Wild man. He is just incredible. People are very happy about it, and you know what? I'm happy for you. I really am. Has he impressed? Oh, I was late to a Hoppy. I'm sorry.
Nah, too bad.
Look, no disrespect to Marc-Andre Fleury. He's just not my favorite goaltender in the league. He never has been. He never will be. So personally,
I love Marc-Andre Fleury. Great person. Like has good moments as a goalie. Just super inconsistent.
It just scares me that this is the way the Wild went when overall this
I'm okay
season,
with the second round pick.
Overall this season, I thought their goaltending was good enough to take into the playoffs. I didn't want to see Kakkonen go. And so that
I did not either. That really
irks
bummed
me
out.
because in my opinion, like, yeah, you traded Kakkonen to acquire Fleury. Yes, it wasn't with the same team. I get it, but that's what happened here. And I'm not okay with that. So again, no disrespect to Fleury. I'm just not happy with the move. Some people are rejoicing it and fine. That's okay. I'm not going to rip on you for that. That's okay. You're a fan of hockey, you like Fleury. Hopefully he continues to win games in a Minnesota Wild sweater and takes us far into the playoffs. Just wasn't the move that I, as a fan of the Wild, wanted Billy Guerin to make.
I don't think it was the priority, right?
No.
But you already can see, though, the one thing that I guess I didn't even factor in, obviously the fans are excited because of the name, but it seems like a lot of the people in the locker room are like just enamored by him being in the locker room. He's a polarizing person. And again, someone made a comment like, hey, do you think this messes with the locker room? That's the only thing that doesn't concern me. Like Marc-Andre Fleury will be a great addition to the locker room. Great person. I just don't think he's the difference maker that turns you into a contender. So
yeah,
I would love to be proven wrong.
I'm on the same page. And exactly, man. Like if we're proven wrong here on the Sota Pod, that is the best case Ontario. Jimmy saying we have both Minnesota and Cato fans that are regulars. I'll be wearing the gear of whatever Sota team is in it. I have a bet going for the Frozen Four matchup. What's your bet?
Yeah, what's the bet? What do you mean?
Shane saying, I think you were thinking of the white chocolate stout from Spectrum. Yes, that's exactly That's exactly what it was. Sorry, not the milk chocolates, but the white chocolate stuff. You're right, Shane. Shane, like Sean Cosgrove, is always right. Is Billy Guerin all right with Kakkonen going because he has that much faith in Wallstat? No, I don't think that's.
If Wallstead plays here in the next 2 years, that's a problem.
But put it this way, I don't think that has anything to do with the factor, because Kakkonen, in my opinion, did nothing wrong to be traded. It was just
No, I
they
think
couldn't
Guerin
move Talbot.
No, dude, I think Guerin believes in Talbot. I don't think he believes in Kakkonen, and you saw it all year. Because I'm sorry, if you think that Dean Evison has full autonomy of the roster, you're lying to yourself. Like, Bill Guerin has last say on everything.
Yeah. And he's hands-on, you can tell.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that he's always making decisions, but like last say, if Guerin doesn't want a player in, he's not going to be in.
Yeah.
Like straight up. So I do think that it was him picking Talbot over Kakkonen, also knowing that Kakkonen's the more tradable asset. But that really worries me for what happens not next year, because Talbot and or Fleury probably going to be okay, but the year after, both of them are going to be question marks, and I don't think you want to be playing Volstead at that point.
No,
I don't.
Like, even Demko wasn't, for the Vancouver Canucks, who's one of the younger and better goaltenders in the league right now, was brought up the right way. Patience. Let him work out the kinks in the respected pro league he's playing in right now. Get immaculated to the North. I shouldn't say, in Demko's case, not North American, but kind of in the AHL. It's a step from NCAA. It's different. It's more hard nosed. You're playing with players who have all better shots. You got to get those reps, and you can't be rushed. I mean, look, Marc-Andre Fleury, I know he was right into the NHL, but that was a different era. That was a different time. The guy was a freaking first overall pick. You don't see those in goaltenders anymore, and for good reason. So all the faith in Wallstead that he will become the goaltender we all want him to be in Minnesota, but we have to be patient. That's when you draft a goaltender that high, you don't want to rush him. You don't want to break this asset before he even gets a chance to show what it's made of.
Goalies are super slow to develop. Straight.
Super slow.
And I think Guerin knows that. I'm not worried about him rushing him. I'm just cautioning fans. You don't want to rush him.
Watching the FF. What's the FF matchup?
FF matchup. Frozen 4, probably.
Frozen 4, yeah. The Cato Crew at the Brewery. Winners are dressing the losers for the title game to watch the other team. Oh, that's going to be fun. That's a good bet. Sorry, we were a little slow for reading that.
See, that's the kind of bet that I do.
Yeah.
Me and my brother were at the same school for 1 year in college, and we would do jersey bets whenever the Flyers and the Penguins played each other.
Oh.
So he'd walk across campus and people would know. They're like, "Oh, that sucks."
That's awesome. That's a good one. Because there's a few jerseys that you'd have to fucking pin me down to.
Oh, dude,
to put me in.
If I lost, he'd make me wear a Lindros jersey.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, grossest.
Oh, if I had to wear a Sundin jersey, I'd fucking puke.
Ooh.
Not in Canucks. Well, honestly, I'd probably puke if it was the Canucks too. Because what a waste of fucking money that was. Holy shit. Yeah.
5 minutes, man.
Yeah, 5 minutes left. I mean, we've been talking wild. We've been talking all sorts of hockey, and it's credits to those in the comments. So thanks to everyone tuning in and out to this watch along here on our YouTube channel. It's always fun every Sunday to do some sort of live stream, whether it's a 2-hour hockey talk show, our podcast recording, or just jumping on a watch along, whether it's Minnesota Wild. Look at that. Hoppy's sitting back, relaxing and watching this Minnesota Golden Gophers game against Western Michigan.
5 minutes left, 2 goals. Don't fuck it up.
Up 2-0 in the third period. And so far, this entire game, it's been a competitive game from the Gophers. Hell, it's been a competitive game from Western Michigan. They got a goal called back. It was a nice goal, but they were offside. Minnesota, great penalty kill throughout this game as well. And they're both playing with so much intensity. This I couldn't have asked for a better game to do a college watch along on Hoppy. This has been so much fun, despite not being able to get the live stats up on the screen.
I gotta pee so bad, and there's no chance I'm moving.
I want to get another beer. My foot's asleep, but I ain't moving. And shout out
Anderson.
Jeremy again, who's just been lighting up the chat. Jeremy, you are a goddamn beauty. I cannot wait to drink a ton of beer with you, my man. Did the same with my
St.
St.
Cloud.
buddy a few years ago. Back with the North Star Cup. Hell yeah.
The North Star Cup. That was short lived.
What's the North Star Cup?
Before St. Thomas, when there was only 5 Minnesota teams, they would do an annual 4-team tournament, and one team would always sit out. Except it would never be the Gophers because they were kind of the host of it. So
it's like the bean pot, kind of.
What?
The
Z just
wannabe?
literally puked.
A wannabe bean pot.
The like biggest wannabe bean.
Dude,
pot.
I
Yeah,
even
it was
watched.
horrible. If you
this year-
promoted it correctly and like did it the right way, it could be in the sphere. Like
In
I
the
don't think
realm,
anything
yeah.
will ever compare to the bean pot just because the history it has.
Oh, dude.
But
So, I even watched the bean pot, like when I can. I didn't watch it this
Yeah.
year, but I remember when I was doing radio, Vancouver Canucks radio, and again, the reason why I watched is Adam Gaudette was on the team, right?
Sure.
But like 2 years straight, watched the bean pot. I believe he won the first year, which Adam Gaudette, I mean, Hobie Baker winner too, was an unbelievable college player, and that was one of the teams. Again, I watched a lot of North Dakota and Besser and Stetcher on the team.
yeah.
I think even Jost was on. Tyson Jost, now a Minnesota
Yeah.
Wild player, was also on that team at the time. Coming from Penticton in the BCHL. Then I watched a ton of Northeastern. I even subscribed to Northeastern's athletics, like whatever subscription program they had, just to be able to watch Adam Gaudette. And I think, Will Lockwood was with Michigan and Quinn Hughes, but I watched some Michigan that year as well. But again, like that's just because I watch Canucks. I'm a Canucks fan. I'm obviously gonna follow the college players there. But yeah, again, Northeastern that year, unbelievable, and got to watch 2 back-to-back Beanpot tournaments with some of the prospects that I was following on the team. So that was really cool. I think even one of our best sound bites from Radio Hoppy came from talking about Beanpot with Dylan and I, which was hilarious.
And I mean, I can say too, like Minnesota, exponentially bigger hockey market than Massachusetts. I think from the grassroots all the way up through college, like Minnesota is the pinnacle. Nothing will ever touch the Bean Pot as far as like a regional tournament of any kind. The Bean Pot is just a totally different beast. So cool.
I would love to go there.
Yeah, it'd be so cool to go to one.
Hey, maybe sometime Sota Pod invades Bean Pot.
Dude, I'd be so scared for what might happen when Z finds us.
I was just gonna say Z's the star of the show.
That's a dark show.
We'll revisit that next year. Which by the way, your Minnesotan just came out.
Oh really? How?
Rut.
Huh?
The way I think it was, now I forget the word. I think you said rut. Anyways,
I don't know
There's
what
a
I
word-
would have said rut for.
I don't know. There's a word you said in there that was super. Your Minnesota accent just came out. But anyways, Jeremy, it's the year the Gophers won it. I enjoyed the pain in his eyes as he put on the maroon and gold.
Who? What?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Just won it. I enjoyed the pain in his eyes. Oh, when he made his buddy wear the jersey.
Your buddy. Yeah.
That would be pretty painful.
Yeah, look, Jeremy, it's the same with me. If someone made me put a Maple Leafs jersey on, like I would probably puke. I can't. A red Maple Leafs jersey, that's one thing, because that's Canada's jersey, but not the freaking Toronto Maple Leafs. None of that blue.
You're just the fakest Canadian ever.
Dude, I am not the fakest Canadian. I stand true.
You're only half Canadian.
I know. But even then, like I'm like my
Dude,
my
when
American
someone
my
brings
American
up
family's from Seattle, so are they really American?
someone brings up Canadian issues and you say c'est la vie, like Montreal is the hub of Canada. You're not Canadian.
Yeah,
You
I'm
just
like
play
on the
one on TV.
opposite coast. I don't know what I'm like the hybrid then, I guess, because like fucking Seattle family. I mean, they're barely American.
You're what they call a mutt.
Yeah. Fucking yeah, dude, I'm straight up a mutt because my dad like escaped revolutionary Iran, wasn't part of those people. Mom wanted to be hippie in Seattle, somehow end up on Vancouver Island, and I was born. And there you go. Definitely a mutt. Oh, it's been a bitch trying to get my American citizenship back.
I thought you already had it.
No, it expired. The reason I didn't renew it years ago is because you actually have to pay quite a bit of taxes on it if you're not.
Oh.
If you're living in Canada or in the States. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yep, we got a power play. They weren't successful in their first power play of this game, though, Western Michigan. So, and the Gophers looked really good on their penalty kill as well. So,
just shut up.
All right. Knock on wood with 3 minutes left in this game. Let's fucking go. But again, all things considered, I'm really impressed just with the game overall. You know, not a blowout on either side. Both teams just fighting for it. And I'm also impressed with just the Gophers overall, which is the team that we're pulling for here on the Sota Pod. And that overall, they play in a very, very sound game. I mean, this penalty, too, is a typical NCAA penalty. That is weak sauce if I've ever seen one. And I'm not even saying that Gophers bias at all. I just rewatched the replay there and not a fan. Not a fan, but hey. It is what it is. Another thing I do like about this game too, again, someone watching this through like very Canadian lenses, is like it's just as intense and chippy as a major junior. You know, maybe not quite NHL, but like, yeah, okay, they're not fighting, but we don't really see fights in the NHL.
Big block by Brock Faber there.
Dude, that was huge. Dude, they want it. Like, I know both teams want to win, and you were making fun of me about that earlier, but like like you can tell in professional or even amateur sports like this, there's always a team that they'll do what it takes to win. So they do want it a little bit more. And like plays like what
I haven't seen any lack of that from Western Michigan though. Because again, like, yeah, it's tongue in cheek. Like, yeah, of course everyone wants to win it, but like Western has not given up at any point in this game. They're giving it. Like Minnesota is just coming out the better team thus far.
And that's why this game is amazing to watch. And why
still 2.5 left though.
Dude, and why I'm so thrilled that we decided to go with this watch along today versus the Minnesota Wild game, which is probably going to be a great game too. Don't get me wrong. I hope the Wild bring it to the Avs, but this is just something special. Like I'm buzzing right now. And again, I'm only one beer in.
Dude, I got a notification like maybe 10 minutes ago that said Malkin scored a goal and went up 3-0 on the Red Wings. I just got another notification. Malkin scored again. It's 6-0 Pittsburgh over Detroit.
Dude, Hobby, what happened?
Suck it, Detroit.
What are you talking? What happened to your Red Wings? You were so high on the Red Wings this,
I
about
still fucking
2 months
hate them.
ago.
And we got the
There we go. There we go.
Minesota.
Look, 2 minutes.
Minnesota. Go first.
Hoppy's even singing. Look how happy he is.
I didn't go all out on it, but just means we're on a collision course with Mankato. Here we go.
And Jeremy just spilled some beer. I love it. I mean, this is amazing. This is what you'd want to see, and credit to Western Michigan. This is a hard-fought game, man. I mean, they got a goal taken, called back. They've had 2 power plays. But the Minnesota Golden Gophers, they've been unbelievable in every facet of this game.
Now I'm relaxed. I'm finally relaxed.
Now he's relaxed.
Yep.
3-goal lead. Under 2 minutes left. The boys have showed up tonight.
Feels good. That's going to be a stressful one, though, Aisha. We're going to have to find a good place to watch in Duluth because I might get a little buckled on that one.
Oh, that's amazing, Jeremy. Well, I mean, it's a UFC night. It's a UFC night for me, Hoppy. So yeah, I'm definitely like once the main event
on a Thursday.
On a Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just talking about
your birthday. The Thursday when we're in Duluth is when Mankato will play Minnesota to see who goes to the championship game.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be buckled regardless because it's April 7th, but
because you're drinking with me and you're half my size.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little bit scared. I'm gonna have to eat a lot, which is okay because for someone my size, I may not be able to drink as much as I used to, probably as much as the Minnesota boys at this stage in my life. And in college is a different time. But I can fucking eat. I can fucking eat. So that will help. That will help absorb the alcohol consumption, especially at Lupulin. I fucking love food, man. I love food more than booze, I think. I love food almost as much as I love hockey. Almost. Hockey still trumps it a little bit more.
Fuck one, marry one, kill one. Hockey, food, booze, go.
Ooh, definitely. Fuck the booze, marry hockey. Or no, sorry, fuck the food, marry hockey, and yeah, kill the booze.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I just got American Pie flashbacks.
Yeah, that's absolutely where my brain went. So that's a little weird.
Shout out Eugene Levy, Canadian legend. Fucking rights, man. Well, this game comes to a close here. There we go. There we go. Hey, I didn't know that was
Is that a tough one for you to read, Isha?
Oh yeah, I'm not even trying with all
Let's go.
4 periods of not letting a goal in. Pretty sure. How do you pronounce this? Close. Has found his stride.
He's from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, he's from Saskatchewan, not one, according to Jeff Merrick.
Hey, Jeff Merrick knows things.
No, Jeff Merrick's an absolute beauty. Just look, a Sasky boy goaltender, you can't go wrong, dude. You can't go wrong. Saskatchewan boys can play hockey, but Saskatchewan boys can play goaltender. Look at Darcy Kemper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sasky boy himself. Which, by the way, if he goes down for the Avs, their playoff hopes are over, man.
It's over.
And there you have it. 3-0 Minnesota Golden Gophers take this one. The clock just ended on my screen too. Wow. Valiant effort from Western Michigan. And what an entertaining game it was. Holy crap. Unbelievable. The boys are so happy.
Too
And
bad. I mean, shout out though. Western Michigan had such a good season. Again, absolute fucking bullshit cowardice that led to Michigan not playing them. And I don't think that Michigan should even be allowed to advance to the Frozen Four. Go get some pizza at Thirsty Pagan and Superior. See, my brother said the same thing. He said he loves the obviously the beer at why can't I come up with it now? Isha, we've talked about it. The other Superior one. I can't remember it now. There's one up there that's really good beer, and then he said Thirsty Pagan had solid beer, but their pizza was good.
Hey, now we got 2 people vouching for the pizza, so
That'll probably be a Wednesday night thing for us. That's not where we'll be for the game.
I'm just so jacked to try 7th out. I've never been so jacked to try a frozen pizza in my life. But because they support the show, the company's amazing. Matt and everyone there is unbelievable. That I just can't wait to live off 7th Ave pizza while I'm in Minnesota. That and Persian food that I cook for Hoppy and your beautiful wife. I have to still send it. I don't know if you like everything that I want to. I still got to send you that. But one of them I'll just straight up. We're still live for a little bit longer. One is called Fessangen. It's pomegranate chicken and walnut stew. Put it over rice. It's a little sweet. It's my favorite. It's my favorite Persian dish. And then there's this kebab kubide, which is it's a kebab. It's meat. Kebab. It's beautiful. It's unbelievable. Cutlet, which is a fried meat and potato patty with rice. And I'm bringing I'll tell you right now, Border Services better not take my fucking saffron away, because I'm bringing at least $200 in saffron for you guys. So I'm just saying.
What's saffron?
Saffron is it's a spice it's worth more than gold by ounce. So
what's it taste like?
Heaven.
I mean, I get it, but that doesn't help.
I don't have the words. Someone in the chat, tell me what saffron fucking tastes like. It's a little sweet, and I don't want to say it's like a little sweetener, but almost like a rich sweet. I don't want to say it's not bitter, and it's not straight up sugar on your rice or on your chicken or anything like that, because it's used on chicken and rice predominantly. But it's like a little extra quaint sweetener to a lot of dishes. But when it's cooked in a fat, for example, chicken fat, walnut stuff, it really like more of the flavor comes out, and it's not quite bitter, but it adds a lot to Persian meals. And actually, you can make saffron ice cream too, which is pretty crazy. But again, I mean, I got the Persian hookup here in Canada. I don't know if I can get one in Minnesota. I'm bringing a lot for you, and then I hope you guys appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate it. I don't even know what to expect.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I love cooking too, and I love cooking for people. And a Persian meal, you cook for one, and it actually feeds 10. So I hope you have freezer space. Just because of the live feed here, I'm gonna go grab a 7th Ave for dinner. Well, look at that, we're making sales. We're making sales for 7th Ave here. I guess we're doing our job, Hobby.
Get it.
Unbelievable. All right, so I mean, this stream for me, anyways, because I've been buzzing. I've been buzzing watching this hockey game. I've been buzzing talking to you, Hoppy. I've been buzzing drinking this stout as well. That like this 2.5 hours has gone by pretty quick for me. It's been fun. Let's do a quick recap of this game and preview the Wild game. Talk a little bit about what we expect. And
the Wild game's already started.
Well, what's going on? Well, I don't have it on my screen right now. But
I don't have it up either.
All right. Well, before we end this stream, quick thoughts on the Wild game. I know people. I don't even know what I'm going to be editing from this podcast yet. But
we might have to just regroup after the Wild game's over to actually record for tomorrow if that's what's.
Honestly,
if that's what it comes to.
Yeah, I think we'll be good. But
we'll
before we end this stream here, though, I mean, we're obviously.
I think this is a big measuring stick game for the Wild. I think the 3 games they played so far, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, like not really impressive wins. I liked how the team played, minus the second period in every game. But by and large, like good that they played well against those teams, but doesn't tell me anything about the team that they beat, teams that they should beat, right? I want to see how they play against the Avalanche. That doesn't mean they have to win. I just want to see how the team matches up and how the game flow looks. That's going to tell me a lot more about this team than what the last 3 games have. Look,
good game flow, and if they sneak out a point, I'm not going to speak for you, Hobby, but I think we'd be happy with that.
Yeah, points fine. I again, if they lose in regulation, I'm still not mad as long as we're seeing the right things from the team matching up against what's a much better opponent than what they've seen the last 3 games, and a depleted Vegas team, an undersized Vancouver team, and a Columbus team that came off of an overtime game the night before. Like, sorry, that doesn't do much for me.
Shane, you're correct. It's a 7.5% here. Now you said it, Hoppy, and I was talking to, again, Kyle and Tim the other day, my Flames friends, and we all kind of were saying that if the Wild end up playing Calgary in the playoffs, what a tremendous series that will be. Just with the size of both the teams, with kind of a similar style, upon watching a lot of Flames hockey, I was like, okay, yeah, they have better center depth. I will give the Flames that. Better defense, I will give them that. But similar styles of hockey, and I think that if it comes to it, though the Flames are the better team, and I honestly think right now, Hoppy, that the Flames would beat the Avs in a series as well.
The Avs worry me, man. The Avs worry me, just the way they're constructed.
Exactly. Entertainment-wise, a Wild and Calgary series, you're getting all your money's worth for that one. Tell me I'm wrong.
It'd be great if that happened. I don't see it happening, but that'd be great.
Tell me I'm wrong, though. That would be so awesome to see them go head-to-head.
I think Calgary would beat the piss out of us. Just being honest.
I think that we'd be pleasantly surprised with how the Wild would. I think the Calgary
best case scenario is a 6-game series.
I think Calgary would win the series. I think the Wild would give them a hell of a, regardless of, even if the Calgary Flames swept them, I still think the games would be competitive till the final whistle. I truly believe that. And like competitive in that the Wild have a chance to win until the final whistle, sort of thing.
I absolutely hope you're right. That's not my stance.
Hey, fair enough. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Excited to see you at Waconia, my man, and excited to try all those beers. Oh man, the peanut butter beer. I am so jacked, Hoppy. I am so jacked. So excited to visit all of Minnesota. Thanks. We did have a little bit of a crowd here today, which is awesome. Apologies, we couldn't get the live stats up on the screen. That's my bad. That's my bad. But any Minnesota Wild game, we do have the flash score live stats up on the screen, which we do watch alongs for Minnesota Wild games on Sundays. If we're not doing a watch along, we do a live 2-hour podcast recording, which we bring in guests, we bring in your live comments and interaction, the whole 9 yards. Today, we decided to go the Minnesota Golden Gophers route. And it was a good choice as they defeated Western Michigan, the Broncos, 3-0. Great effort by Western Michigan, though. Unbelievable game. They had a goal called back. They had 2 power play opportunities. And like Hoppy said, they never took their feet off the gas through that entire game. So as we wrap up this stream here, Hoppy, a successful Sota stream, if I do say so myself. Any final thoughts on this game and going into the next round with the Minnesota Golden Gophers?
Gophers fucking win. That's all that matters. Successful stream. Gonna be a really good matchup, though. Last time they met was actually to go to the Frozen Four last year, and it did not go well for the Gophers.
No,
4-0 loss. It's crazy because both teams are better than they were last year. So I'm not sure how to rationalize this. I still think that the speed game and the offensive prowess is stronger with the Gophers, but there's definitely no lack of goal scoring for Mankato. And, of course, having Dryden McKay is a big X factor, but I don't know. I don't see another 4-0 game. I see this being a 3-2 win, one direction. I haven't wrapped my head around who that's going to be yet, but I think it's going to be a good game.
It's going to be an unbelievable game.
And I'm cheering for whoever wins, by the way. I absolutely want the Gophers to win that game, but if Mankato wins, fuck whoever goes up against him in the championship game.
Yeah. The Sota Pod, we're pulling for the Minnesota teams. And like you said, if it's not the Gophers, Mankato, you have our support here on the Sota Pod. Shane, you are so right. They had both, Western Michigan had both feet firmly placed on the gas pedal. No fucking brakes there. And again, valiant effort. Cannot show any disrespect to them. It was an unbelievable game. Again, for a day that, I had every expectation to have fun doing this live stream. I didn't expect to be so engaged with this game and actually get as jacked as Hoppy when the Gophers were prevailing. So there it is.
Michigan's already up 1-0. Not even 2 minutes into the
Quinnipiac.
Period. Yeah.
Good fucking riddance. Man.
I'm sorry, well, no, I don't want Michigan to win because fuck them. But Quinnipiac, you just knew coming into this game that they're going to get steamrolled after how St. Cloud dominated them, and they were lucky to win that game.
By the way,
goaltending.
Highest, I believe, point scorer and goal scorer in Quinnipiac history, Brandon Wong from Victoria, British Columbia. Shout out, Brandon. We still keep in touch. So there you go.
There you go.
With that being said, we're going to hang up the skates here. Again, fun stream, Hoppy. Thanks for joining. I love college hockey. It's not readily available in Canada, but it's fucking awesome. I'm fired up, excited for April 9th, even though I'll have one eye on UFC. I'll definitely have one eye on the NCAA Frozen Four as well. Thanks to everyone for joining today. We'll see you back live next Sunday. And if you're joining, actually, we probably won't see you live next Sunday since I'm going to be in fucking Minnesota next Sunday. So subscribe to the channel as we're going to have a ton of content coming out on the Sota Pod YouTube channel. The podcast is going to continue to roll 5 days a week, every weekday on the Sota Pod feed. So with that, Hoppy, don't fear. Just drink some beer and stay wild.